the drama, yeah. Thought you already knew that, ay. Why you gotta do that, ay? Don't switch it up, thought you understood that, ay. Coming from the bottom, very bottom, yeah, yeah. Fam, I thought you knew that, ay. Fam, I'm on the come up, yeah. No need to fake it, Charlie never loved us, no. Say, why you gotta do that? Say you ain't gotta do that, no. Babe, why you gotta do that? No, you ain't gotta do that, no.
You be tweaking, you be geeking, I ain't built like that, shorty. If you hang up in my face, why I'ma dial you back? Had to run the shit a double time like a running back, ayy, ayy. Tryna put things in my life in another sequence. I've been dealing with a lot in this too tough to mention, but I feel a little better with the Smith & Wesson. It's a long dog road if you don't have a weapon. Watching everywhere I step, facilitate these blessings. Gotta keep my eyes peeled for the misdirection. In the form of a favor or a loved one. I know you got trauma in your past that you can run from, and it shows in every single action that you make, love. That ain't what up, love, nah. You be tweaking, you be geeking, I ain't built like that, shorty. If you hang up in my face, why I'ma dial you back, no.
I don't like the drama, yeah. Thought you already knew that, ay. Why you gotta do that, ay? Don't switch it up, thought you understood that, ay. Coming from the bottom, very bottom, yeah, yeah. Fam, I thought you knew that, ay. Fam, I'm on the come up, yeah. No need to fake it, Charlie never loved us, no. Say, why you gotta do that? Say, you ain't gotta do that, no. Babe, why you gotta do that? No, you ain't gotta do that, no.
Gotta let me know what's up, what's the situation?
What's
Got
up?
me thinking that I know you, then you switch your faces. First you love me, then it's fuck me with a conversation. And she like, I never meant to do that, I never meant to. Let me know what's up, what's the situation? She like, I love you, but I know we in two different places. Okay, I thought you were the one, but then you treat me basic. And I'm like, I never meant to do that, I never meant to. Whoa, whoa, whoa. She like, I never meant to do that, I never meant to. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And I'm like, I never meant to do that, I never meant to. We've been back and forth for 60 hours, though we need a rest. You been getting fouled real wild, girl, we need a ref. Just to keep the peace or mediate or even throw a text. It feel like we sinking, babe, we drowning, gotta catch my breath. I'll call you on the phone, you start talking real crazy, then you hang up in my face. Got me feeling some way, I don't know what to do, so I match your energy. Then I go to text you and find out you blocked me. Like, let me know what's up, what's the situation?
What's up?
She like, I know that you don't hear me from your face expression, but I never meant to do that, I never meant to. Gotta let me know what's up, what's the situation? Got me thinking that I know you, then you switch your faces. First you love me, then it's fuck me with a conversation. And she like, I never meant to do that, I never meant to. Let me know what's up, what's the situation? She like, I love you, but I know we in two different places. Okay, I thought you were the one, but then you treat me basic. And I'm like, I never meant to do that, I never meant to. Whoa, whoa, whoa. She like, I never meant to do that, I never meant to. Whoa, whoa, whoa. She like, I never meant to do that, I never meant to.
Black African power. What's good? What's happening? A well-organized lie defeats a disorganized truth every time. Woohoo-wee. Man, y'all already know what it is, man. It's the Pseudo Killas on deck. And we coming to do what we got to do. and we're gonna do what we got to do. We standing tall, we standing strong. Look, man, Pseudo Killas on deck. What's good? Serious B, you got the best name in the game, man. What's good? What's good? What it do? What it do? What it do?
What's going on, brother? We're here again, right?
Yeah, right on schedule, man. Right on schedule. We here.
Right.
Once again, you know what them teaching moments.
Here. So let me see if it's my system or something else.
Hold on. Let me see. Can you hear it?
I don't hear it when I'm just talking. Do you have another window open?
Nah, nope.
Okay. Yeah, I got an echo. Let's see if I can figure that out.
I can't hear that. I don't hear the echo.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. It's probably about on my end.
All right, let me make sure I got it. Let me see. What am I doing?
Peace, brother Anthony. What's happening?
Hey,
What it do, Anthony? What's good, man?
Right.
Space Age African. What's got with you?
Oh man, I can't make no noise. Just ready to get it in.
Oh my goodness, man. My door loud. Go ahead. I'm listening to you, Anthony. I had to mute out, man. The pots and pans is banging in the house. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
What's on your mind, Anthony? Before we get that show started, man, we parlaying, man. We ain't got enough people get it started, man. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, man.
Oh man, just ready to get it in, get it going. You know this my lane here, but like I said before, I like to hear my brother in arms on Series B that get it in with this here. He be on it. So yeah, I'm ready to learn, old boy. I'm ready to learn.
Yeah, man. You know we got a lot going on.
Guns out for the last week or so. You know, we've been dropping some pretty powerful information and bringing it forward to the community. So I hope everybody is sort of enjoying that. In the spirit of that same vein, we're coming tonight to sort of do some follow-ups to one of the deep dive conversations we had in conjunction with Sarnetta University and the real black atheists. So we're back over here on the Pseudo Killas channel, right, where we belong at home, right? This is a command central, right? We're here. And plus, we've got all the claims of the flat earthers documented as well, right? So that's another sort of a mission that we've been on today is documenting a lot of those, the foolery of the flat earthers as well, so that we can actually address those pieces as well. But in terms of what we always say, right, one of the biggest or one of the greatest ways to debunk pseudoisms is to teach right and correct information. So that's our primary goal, is to teach correct scientific information and share that to the community.
Look, you know we got the text at hand for the flat earthers, right? The weird earth. Okay? Donald Prethero. And this is what we go through all the time, man. We easing into it, man. We know we ain't gonna start rocking to at least get 50 in the building, right? We had 27. Man, like and subscribe, man. And before I read this little piece, man, you know I had lost hope, Sirius B and Anthony Bowman. I was like, dude, why they gonna strike our channel down for misinformation on vaccines?
Oh, yeah.
Right? I was like, really? Yeah, that's nuts, man. And I said they got Rizza Islam at the top of their voice with the foolery. We coming with quality education. We had people from the University of Maryland, a virologist come on, and y'all gonna do what? Cause of what? Man, when I hit that quote unquote appeal, yo, I went in. I said I'm losing hope. I don't understand how me, right? I did such and such, debated that and that, boom, I did all that. I mean, I went in. You thought I was live. I went in. Full serious paragraph on how it's complete foolery. Man, I ain't even know. What Brenda say, Sirius B say, man, look, yo, they let us back. I was like, really? And I wouldn't check, right? And an appeal was successful. I was like, what? Like, really? Couldn't have had no misinformation. We went straight to the website, the various website, read how You're not supposed to use it for what everybody's using it for, Rizza Islam and the pseudos. Right? You're not supposed to. The website say don't use it for that. And they all use it for that. Right? I was like, man, I cannot believe that. But you know, they didn't upheld the suspension, man, and let us through. And so they have restored my confidence in scientific data that we present. It's crazy, yo. Yeah.
Absolutely. You mentioned probably was striking people based on show titles. So more than likely, that's probably what happened. And then under the appeal with the review of the content, you say, no, not at all.
Not them. They killing them.
Not purveyors of misinformation at all.
Yeah, they killing them.
And,
Go ahead, Brennan.
that's one of the main reasons we always say, like, don't get out of the tank. Right?
Yeah,
We
don't
make
get out
sure
the
if we're bringing something to you, we've got accurate sources. Right? We've got to make sure that we can back up what we're saying with real expert claims. So it's not like we're just on here talking.
Nah, we ain't just talking. That ain't what we doing. That's why they ain't gonna never get around this, man. Got 33 in the building, man. Go ahead, 33,000, man. Go hit that like and subscribe, man. Get them likes up, man. Come on, man. Let's go. All right. So yeah, man, is they say you got a serious echo. I don't see how. I don't hear no echo.
Yeah, it's when both of us talk, if you mute, I don't hear it. So maybe all right, so if you mute right now, I don't hear an echo. Like, so we may have to mute back and forth when we're talking tonight. So one of our comms is dirty.
How we fix it? It's got to be a fix. Let me see. All right. Is it? You can hear echo? You don't hear no echo now?
Only when we both talk together.
Why you can hear the echo and I can't, bro? I can't hear no echo at all.
I can hear it, y'all.
You can hear it?
Yeah, but it's like whatever Brandon was telling you earlier. You mute or whatever that was. His echo stop. But he don't echo. You like that.
But how we got it? We don't got another show going on, do we? How we do that? He said we got another show going on. How?
I think that's the show from if you mute. If you mute, all right. The show that's live, that's a replay. That's the replay from Sinetta University there. So that's not a live show that you see. We just uploaded that from Sinetta University because we wanted to bring that content over to our channel. So again, that's just a replay. It's not live.
Oh, you did it already, and ain't. Oh, stop it! You spoke. So you spit the. Oh man, we got. Oh, so you got 2 shows going on, ladies and gentlemen. This is the replay. That's the live show. This the replay. Well, you funny. So you got 2 shows going, boy. So we fighting against ourselves. Man, how you do that? Well, how you do that? Hey. Well, maybe you need to put it on whatchamacallit so we can get the people over here. I see what's going on.
Yeah, go ahead. No, you can actually stop it if you would like.
I don't stop it. I'm gonna put it on whatchamacallit because we be over here where they think they over there. You know, remember how I played that show, that replay, and you thought I was live. You was like, man, I thought it was. All right, let me see. Boy. All right. All right, they give everybody a chance to get it. All right, let me see if I can get it right. I ain't know you hit that. You had us jamming over there.
See the atom right here.
Oh, yeah, you got us jamming over there, boy. Let me see. All right. Wow, I'm glad somebody decided to tell us. All right, let me see. Get over here. Oh, you got the permit. I didn't know you started. Oh, yeah, we got hat. Yeah, they over there, man.
I'm going to leave as well and come back.
All right, okay. All right. All right. Well, that look real. But how is the chat? Man, so people's in the chat.
The other show going on over there.
Yeah, people in the chat. They thought No, it's not. It's not the real Anthony. It's not the real Anthony. All right, let me get this right, man. All right, I'm gonna put that on mute, right? Y'all can get over here. Hold on. It's all good.
Adam getting that shit.
Huh?
He heard you over. Adam heard you over there on Sunday University. Talking about he don't want to take responsibility and step up. Put it all on you. He got something for you, old boy.
He said, who?
Adam.
Who
You
is
talking
that?
about Adam and Eve?
Oh, they said they had something for me.
Yeah, Adam had something for you.
Oh,
He messed you up tonight.
oh man, Adam then came out of nowhere with this.
Yeah, you talking crazy. Talking about he ain't want to take responsibility.
Oh man. I can't even figure out how to operate my own damn channel. Let me see. What is the world is going on? I'm signed in. Man, we got 2 shows going on. Let me see. I need to get over here, man. Anyway, we over here live. Let me figure out what's going on. All right. See if I can get this going. Where's the content at? Can work everybody's channel but mine. Settings. All right, notifications. Nope, that ain't it. Nope. 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 Nope, that ain't it. Go to my studio. Okay. I'm at the studio. Boom. Well, he got the live. Where he got it? Oh, he got it for me. All right, I think I can do this. I think I can do this. Action. Oh, I don't want to delete it. I don't want to do it. No. I got it for me. I think I can do this. I guess it's too late. He didn't already. Nope, we already on save and probably know I can get it out. Oh.
I'm being told that I'm echoing too.
I'm going to go out and come back. Let me see what's going on. This is stupid. All right, everybody got to come over to the. All right, that should have did it. So we all meet. Why is we all doing that? I'm going to go out and come back in.
All right. See, now the comms are clear. Do you hear that, Anthony?
Yeah, you sound good now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's
But they say I was echoing too.
it's great. It's great. I think either the gain on his mic is a little too loud. I think that's what may be happening here. So maybe he can turn his mic down just a bit because I heard a little bit of noise in the background while he was on the stream.
Gotcha.
Right. Right. So meanwhile, while the brother jumps back on, in terms of the show that we did last week, just as a very brief recap, because we had some people over there sort of maybe taking a look at that show for the first time. And again, we did that over on Sunday at University. And what we did, it was a sort of an evolutionary deep dive regarding the 8 epochs of the Big Bang as described within the standard cosmological model. Right? That standard cosmological model being the lambda CDM version of the Big Bang Theory. Lambda CDM, that's an acronym for cold dark matter. And that's the Big Bang sort of, I guess you would say, version, so to speak, the Big Bang version that's used or referenced within the scientific consensus today. So we wanted to really do a deep dive on that because in the community, we have a lot of sidebar conversations regarding Big Bang and cosmology. So we really wanted to put a lot of that information out on the table, sort of as a reference for us, and maybe build a playlist over time with some of those deep dive conversations, just so that we can have a baseline foundational understanding in the community regarding what the Big Bang actually is, as told by professional astronomers and cosmologists.
Oh yeah, I agree with you. And yeah, that show last week was very powerful, man. But
Yeah.
it's one thing that kind of gets lost in the conversation is like when you going over 10 to the negative 43 as far as we can go back, and then you got 10 to the
Mm.
negative 36, and you know all of these things are happening. Everything that you explained last week happens in the first second.
Right.
So that's
We're
like a
talking
blink of an
trillions of
eye.
a trillionth of a trillionth of a second.
I
Yeah,
got. Is
exactly.
y'all still got the feedback? My fault.
A little bit. Can you turn your mic down just a bit? Because I think your gain may be a little bit high.
Is that it?
Let's
Still
see.
doing it.
Testing.
Test
Yes.
1 2 3. 1
Is
2
that-
3.
Okay.
Test 1 2 3.
Yeah. See, when you're talking, I don't hear it. So what we will probably have to do is when we're talking, you go on mute, and then and vice versa. Right? Me and Anthony are fine in terms of our comms. It's just I think it's something on your end that's causing it. So while both of us are talking, you mute, right, and we'll mute when you're talking, and we should be fine.
Oh, that's a heck of a man. All right, how about now? How about now? How about now?
Okay. Oh, it just went away. Whatever you just
Went
did, it
away.
just completely went away.
Ah, man.
Yep, and
All
your
right.
comms are clear. No, you don't have any additional noise as well.
That must be when I'm just banging Bobby, banging by myself mode. All right. All right, we good now.
But we're
Okay.
good. But we're good now.
All right, we good
Right?
now. Okay.
It's technical. We all have technical issues. There's tech stuff, right? It gives people some time to sort of pile in the building as well, right? So
Yeah,
we
we
apologize.
had two shows going on. I don't know how.
Yeah.
I don't know how the aliens.
I
must have
made
came
the
down.
mistake. I made the mistake when I uploaded the video. There was a checkbox that said premiere, right? And I was like,
Right.
okay, well, right, just do a premiere. I didn't know that they were going to actually go live with the recording. So again, a novice mistake on my behalf. I apologize.
Yeah. Next time you do a premiere, you can put the time and day you want to premiere.
Yeah, because it actually treats it as a live broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know that was the behavior. So yep, okay.
So we good now. All right, we got it. We good.
Right.
We great now.
Right. So while you were off, we just did a brief sort of summary of the discussion that we had last week on Sarnetta's TV or on Sarnetta University, and talked about a bit about what our goals were sort of moving forward with some of these conversations. But we didn't necessarily touch on some of the show topics for today. So you could jump right in terms of the show topics that we're going to jump into.
Yeah, we diving in, to the early universe. We kind of want to have some conversation based around that. Is that me? Hold on. Why did that come on? I don't know why that came on. Yeah, so we talk a little bit about the early universe. There's a lot of mistakes made in there. So we actually clipping the pseudos, right? We putting them right in line. Okay, you like the flat Earth, like the early universe, like how many flat objects was it, and why the Earth was the only one that made it through?
Everything we observe in the universe,
It's
right,
not flat.
is spherical. So why would the Earth be unique, right?
Yeah, and I got a little clip. Chef sent it to me. I was actually the clip is really from the book I got with Neil deGrasse Tyson, right here.
Okay.
Neil deGrasse, astrophysics, right? For people in a hurry. We definitely all in a hurry, right? Got a whole chapter on that, on round, right? Very interesting. So when I played the clip, it was good. But let me read this little piece and we can get right into it. We get this used against us all the time, ladies and gentlemen. People will use the word science, but in the same moment, talk crazy about science, but they're using science to verify what they talking about, or at least in language. They will use the word science, right? Because they know science is a powerful tool, right? So they'll use that against us. It's you pass off your belief systems as science. That's exactly what they do, right? However, you must play by the rules of science. This is what we're talking about. So when the flat earthers are talking about the science says this and science says that, no, you have to play by the rules of science. Well, the Bible has science in it. Okay, not a problem, right? But it has to adhere to the rules of science. So this is a learning lesson for all of us. Whenever they start talking about science, the Quran got science, okay, well, it has to follow the rules when you interface that word. It says, when con artists try to sell you snake oil and someone points out an inconvenient fact about it, they will try to attack this fact or to explain it away with an after the fact or ad hoc for this purpose. Explanation. It says, if the snake oil fails to work, they might say, you didn't use it right, or it doesn't work on days when the moon is full. Crazy. They will say anything. And I remember I remember how the community got ripped in half. The young pseudo, Sarah Stupicetti. And the reason the community got ripped in half, because we were enacting the scientific process that helped decipher the meta nature. At that point, they just felt they could not be wrong. They couldn't change it. And to play that game like they did, to tear the whole thing down, because they understood they was in trouble. But this is what dedicated pseudos do, because they dedicated pseudos. They dedicated to continue misinformation. They thoroughly entrenched in their information, and ain't no way they was going to change that, right? So they created a condition, right, that would cause us to fight, right? They never was coming, okay? Made up every excuse. Then the question is, why would Seti and Pharaoh do that? Well, they did that because they understood the power of science at that point, right? They understood that they was in trouble. They understood it wasn't going to be a walk in the park. They clearly understood that. And so they acted crazy, made it seem as if we was doing something wrong. We were simply putting out the verified facts that it absolutely proved that the meta nature had been deciphered. And there's still people today that will swear it's not. And so as we put this presentation together, talking about the early universe, there's still going to be people howling and screaming, that's not it, that's not that. Even when I just did the crystal show earlier, we still had people trying to give some type of electromagnet power to crystals. Very, very interesting, man. So yeah, we around here, we fighting hard not to, like we got to give people like a back door. You know what I'm saying, Brendan? Back door. So is the audio clear?
Yep, you sound perfect.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, we good. All right, absolutely, man. So, all right, I think you're gonna go ahead and kick it first, man.
Yeah, I think so. Right. In terms of, discussing the Big Bang theory and the origins of the universe, the evolution of the universe, in terms of that, and the separation and how science really segments the evolution of the universe based on very unique conditions that occur at each epoch is important, and sort of understanding that. So when we talk about the early universe, we're talking about the epochs that happen at very, very fractions of a second early in the existence of the universe. Right. So if you think about, the very first epoch that we talk about, if you call it the Planck era. The Planck era, rewinding the clock all the way to 10 to the minus 43 seconds. Now, in terms of what that looks like, that time period in fractions of a second, think about a zero followed by a dot, a decimal, followed by 43 zeros and a one. All right, that's how many trillionths of a trillionth of a trillionth of a second after the Big Bang, where the Planck era actually happened. And one of the reasons why we can't go further or beyond that Planck, the Planck error is the Planck time, so to speak, right? The Planck time, that 10 to the minus 43, that is the smallest quantized unit of time with that we can actually deal with in the physical world. Right. So I'm going to go ahead and share this presentation. So we'll get right into this. All right, hold tight for just a second. And you guys let me know if you can see this. All right. So let me know if you guys can see that.
Loud and clear.
Okay. All right, awesome. So again, right, this is going to be a conversation about the early epochs of the universe. We wanted to kind of separate this out because the phenomenon is much, much different than what we would see in the late universe. All right, we're going to have a conversation about the late universe as well. Think about the late universe. This is the time when we had the protogalactic clouds, the condensation of that protogalactic matter, right, forming some of the very early stars, forming the protostars, right, forming the galaxies in our solar systems. That's more akin to the late universe. We wanted to start with the early universe and talk about that as well, because this is the phenomenon that you're going to see in the early universe when the initial forces, right, the four fundamental forces that we see in the universe, that's when they come into existence. That's when we had the particles, the subatomic particles, or there's elementary particles, existed freely within the universe independently, right, before the actual nuclei formed. This is the times when we had, fission and fusion was happening dynamically, right, spontaneously inside of the universe. This was happening in the very early stages of the Big Bang. So we wanted to actually take a step back and maybe go through some of that information in detail as well. Right. Again, this is Pseudo Killer at the movie, so we always do a disclaimer, right? So we're covered under the Copyright Act of 1976, right? This is the purpose for fair use, criticism, comment, education, and scholarship, which is a strong word for what we do. Right. So in terms of, we're talking about, we just had just a brief explanation of what Planck time was. But before we even get into those units dealing with the very, very small, let's talk about, why that's important, right? Why it's very, very important to have units of measurement when you're talking about these particular things, right? So if you think on your everyday life, we use units of measurement such as the mile, we use the meters, we use temperatures in Fahrenheit, right? Things like that, because, being able to observe things, right? Science is all about observation and calculation, right? So without having a very useful unit of measurement, it'll be very hard for science to do its job, so to speak, right? So at astronomical scales, we're talking about at scales the size of solar systems, at the size of galaxies, in multiple galaxies and galactic clusters, right? There's a very different, what we call a unit of measurements that professional astronomers use. And one of those is called the astronomical unit. Right. So think about the astronomical unit being the distance between the center of the sun and the center of the earth. All right. So that's the 93 million miles that we always talk about. We say that the sun is 93 million miles away from the earth. Right. So that's measured from the very center, right, the gravitational center of the earth to the center of the sun. Right. And again, right, that's a very useful, the AU, or the astronomical unit, that's very useful for when scientists are making measurements for things within our solar system. Right, so you'll give you an example, right? From the earth to the sun is 1 AU. Right. But if you actually take a look, right, from the sun to Saturn, right, is 9.5 AU. So it's a very useful measurement, right, doing distances between things inside of the solar system. Right. So another one is what we call the parsec. right? So we all know what the speed of light is, right? We talk about it all the time, right? Speed of light, not necessarily meaning a measurement in distance, is or like a measurement in both distance and time, right? So a single parsec essentially is 3.26 light years. In a parsec, right, professional astronomers don't necessarily use single light years when they're making their calculations. A more common uh, astronomical unit, or the unit of measurement that they use, is the parsec, right? And that's useful when we're measuring distances between galaxies or between things outside of the solar system. So if you take a look at this particular slide here, right, we say that the distance between the Milky Way and the Andromeda galaxy, right, is 0.78 megaparsecs, right? Being a megaparsec being like a million parsecs. And there's even what we call the concept of a gigaparsec being 1 billion parsecs, right? So if you think about, right, what is the size of the visible universe from end to end, right? That's what we would call 28.5 gigaparsecs, right? Which is essentially 93 billion light years in expansion within the known universe, right? So those are some examples of what we would say, units of measurement on astronomical, very, very large scales, right? But when we're talking about the Planck era in the very early times of the universe, we need a measurement that's extremely, extremely small, right? And that's when, what we call the Planck unit actually comes into play, right? So the Planck unit, right? This is in terms of this particular conversation, we're going to talk about Planck density. There's many different Planck units. There's the Planck scale, right, which is the smallest quantized unit of space that we can calculate. There's the Planck time. We talked about that, right? There's the Planck, the Planck temperature. There's all types of different Planck units of measurement that are named after the German physicist Max Planck. But in terms of the Planck density, think about this, right? That's the density of the very early universe, what we call it, that the primordial state, the density at the primordial state of the Big Bang or the universe during the Planck era, during the Planck epoch. So if you think about this, if you took everything in the known universe, right? I think the known universe is around 100 billion galaxies, right? I think the Hubble observatory, I think they measured at around 100 billion. It may be up to 200 billion at this point, but think about this inside of your mind. If you take 100 billion galaxies and compress and crush those down to the size of a single proton, right? That would be the Planck density, right? So it's an it's an extremely hot, extremely dense unit of measurement, right? That would be at play during the Planck era, right? And again, we talk about density being mass divided by the volume. So you think about all that matter crushed into the size of a proton. That's the state. That's the primordial state of the universe during the Planck era. Now, one of the things that's one of the problems with this, and we always talk about, we can't really describe what the universe was like during the Planck era because we have yet to unify general relativity with quantum mechanics. And one of the problems with this is that, if you have a density of that magnitude at quantum level, right, how could you actually account for the gravitational forces at the quantum level, right? So our theories of quantum mechanics, really, they only deal with three of the fundamental forces. That's going to be the electromagnetism, the strong force, and the weak force, right? They pretty much ignore gravity because at those scales, right, gravity is pretty much negligible. But you cannot ignore gravity, right, during the Planck era because of just the sheer density of the universe at that time. And not being able to have that, to being able to observe what that universe was like, or not having, or what they call, you would have to have a theory of quantum gravity, right? The problem, we don't have a theory of quantum gravity just yet. So any thoughts about that, Brother Anthony?
Oh yeah, you cooking, Brandon. But yeah, it's really important to get an understanding of that, that Planck measurement because it applies everywhere. It's that very, very, very first instant of whatever. You know, when two objects touch, it's that very first instant when they very you can't measure it just by looking. So it's very important to get an understanding of how small or minute. Well, I won't say minute, but how small that measurement is. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yep, absolutely. All right. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and play this short little video that talks about it shows some pretty good information about the early universe as well. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. I want to see I'm going to try this first, brothers, and let me know if you guys can hear this video that I'm playing here. Can you guys hear this?
No, I'm not hearing anything yet.
Okay, hold on just a sec. So we have to do this. I'll probably have to do the same thing we did last time, which is stop sharing my screen. I'm going to stop sharing here.
Oh, did you?
Back up. Yeah, I'm going to
Yeah,
stop sharing. I'm going to pull it back up with the sound on
yeah,
my
you
system.
gotta click that button.
Yep. I do click that initially when I share it, but I think it's something because it's because this is an embedded video. I think it doesn't necessarily like that. So I have to do it while I'm on that slide. So let's see. Let's see here. Present. Share screen. Share audio. All right. All right. This is Brian Cox as well. I think we shared a video from Brian Cox on the last video. Right. If you don't subscribe to his channel, please do. He has some really, really good content regarding cosmology and astrophysics. Can you guys hear
In
that?
order to fully understand what makes the universe tick, we have to be able to grasp its early stages,
Yeah.
the universe's subsequent evolution. The earliest stages of the universe's existence are estimated as taking place 13.8 billion years ago, with an uncertainty of around 21 million years. In the very early universe, the subnuclear particles that later made up the protons and neutrons existed in a free state as a quark-gluon plasma. As the universe expanded and cooled, the quark-gluon plasma would undergo a phase transition and become confined into the protons and neutrons we know and love today. Cosmologists can give us a glimpse of the early universe way before nucleosynthesis begins. Enter the Planck epoch. The Big Bang occurs in which ordinary space and time develop out of a primeval state. During the Planck epoch, cosmology and physics are assumed to have been dominated by the quantum effects of gravity, but we have yet to develop a theory of quantum gravity. In physical cosmology, assuming that nature is described by a grand unified theory, the grand unification epoch was the period in the evolution of the early universe following the Planck epoch, in which the three forces of the Standard Model are still unified. According to inflation theory, the inflationary epoch was the period in the evolution of the early universe when the universe underwent an extremely rapid exponential expansion. The rapid expansion increased the linear dimensions of the early universe by a factor of at least 10 to the 26th power. The electroweak epoch was the period in the evolution of the early universe when the temperature of the universe had fallen enough that the strong force separated from the electroweak interaction, but was high enough for electromagnetism and the weak interaction to remain merged into a single electroweak interaction above the critical temperature for electroweak symmetry breaking. The quark epoch was the period in the evolution of the early universe when the fundamental interactions of gravitation, electromagnetism, the strong interaction, and the weak interaction had taken their present forms. But the temperature of the universe was still too high to allow quarks to bind together to form hadrons. The quark epoch began approximately 10 to the minus 12 seconds after the Big Bang. During the quark epoch, the universe was filled with a dense, hot quark gluon plasma, containing quarks, leptons, and other antiparticles. The following period, when quarks became confined within hadrons, is known as the Hadron Epoch. This started 20 microseconds after the Big Bang. The Hadron Epoch is mostly characterized when quarks are bound into hadrons, and slight matter-antimatter asymmetry from the earlier phases results in an elimination of antibarons. This symmetry breaking is one of the greatest mysteries of the universe, and the reason why we exist.
What was
All right. So I think that was a pretty good. I say again, Brian Cox, he's really good in terms of his graphics and his descriptions on his channel, talking about the evolution of the early universe and what that did. That talked a little bit about the Planck epoch, right? And it transitioned through some of the subsequent epochs as well. It talks about, okay, well, the freezing out of the strong force, the freezing out of the electro weak force, right? The freezing out of the forces being what happened as the universe continued to expand and cool over time after the Big Bang. Right. So, right, even though we talk about those were different transitionary phases, they were very, very close, right? Very fractions and trillions of a second after the Big Bang. So I want to go ahead and I think brother Anthony, he's gonna talk just a bit about some of these subsequent epochs as well. All right, I'll go ahead and share the presentation again and bring up the slides that you shared with me, bro.
Hey man, y'all tuned in to the Pseudo Killers, man. Y'all know what it is, man. We keeping it real smooth, man. Keeping it educational, man. You know how we doing it, man. But jump out of line, man. You know what it is. Don't be mistaken. We here and we very, very clear.
All right. So here you go, brother Anthony. Again, right? That was Brian Cox. He does a very good job explaining some of the things that, some of the phenomena in the early universe, right? He transitioned through the Planck era and some of the subsequent eras as well, right? Talking about the freezing out of the four fundamental forces, right? Going all the way up to nucleosynthesis. He transitioned through antimatter and antimatter annihilation. Right. And now we're sort of up to when we want to talk about the inflationary epoch and some of the slides that you shared.
All right. Can you got the slide up?
Yep.
All right. What I want to speak on is, what they refer to as the inflationary epoch, which is basically it's when the strong nuclear force breaks away from the other two forces, which is the weak nuclear force and the electromagnetic. But during that same period, the it's theorized that the early universe went through a very rapid expansion. And that expansion was so great and so fast that it was, during it, it cooled, the universe cooled down a little bit. And at that time, you had the very fundamental particles being, created or coming into being, whatever words you want to use for it. But those are those fundamental particles would be the quarks and the gluons. And during that time, during that expansion, which the expansion was something like a molecule expanding to something the size of a molecule expanding to like 10 light years. in just that fraction of a second, or that fraction of a
Unc, you got
fraction of a
something
second.
playing?
I ain't muted out.
No. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. And so with that being said, that expansion also brought on a cooling, like I was saying. So those fundamental particles were expanded as well, uniformly, you know. And like I say, you had the quarks, which is the up quark and the down quark. You had the anti-quarks, and you had what they call gluons. So there was like this plasma, and it expanded with along with the universe, you know, uniformly. So that's really what these slides are speaking towards, is that period of expansion and cooling, which allowed those fundamental particles to take shape and come to form. But it was still a little too hot for them to actually start fusing, but they were there. And up until around this point in the story, we're beginning to phase from theoretical into the experimental, because we have the hadron colliders, which collide those atoms and breaks them into, it gets to a certain speed and a certain temperature that they're trying to mimic what the theoretical scientists have come up with, and that's what they're doing with the hadron colliders. And so we're moving from theoretical to experimental, to where, like I say, we can see these things happening. So yeah,
I
that's
think
about
that's
it
the
that
I
I got
think
on
that's an
those two.
interesting, yeah, that's an interesting transition there as well, right? In terms of our understanding of the universe and moving away from the theoretical to the experimental, because like for example, right, we talked about the Planck density, and being that there's absolutely no way that within a laboratory that we're going to be able to replicate a piece of matter at Planck density. Nowhere in the foreseeable future will we be able to take the mass of 100 billion galaxies and crush them down to the size of a proton. It's like that's not going to happen. And even if we could, right, that's not maybe not necessarily something that you want to do necessarily, right? So this having moving into the experimental and saying, okay, well, based on things that we can see and replicate inside of the natural universe, it gives us an idea of how things may have behaved and occurred in the early universe. And another thing you mentioned, the gluons, right? They describe the gluons during the inflationary period as the gluons being the force carriers of the strong force. Right? We always, the gluons, right? Those are elementary particles, and those are the things that actually facilitate the forces, right? The force transition of those elementary forces in the universe, right? So I do have the second slide here, and I also have a slide that kind of goes over some of the elementary particles as well. Let's see, let's go to this one. All right, coach. This actually describes the order of magnitude of the expansion. If you want to go into that, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was speaking on
Oh, okay.
about, the universe being about the size of a molecule, and
Hmm.
that 26 orders of magnitude is calculated out to be about the distance of 10 light years. So
Hmm.
you going from the size of a molecule to 10 light years to the size of 10 light years in the fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a second. We
Right.
can't even fathom,
Yeah,
that.
virtually instantaneous, right? For all
Yeah,
intents and purposes, it was an instantaneous, right, inflation from almost nothing to astronomical scales. Absolutely. And one of the
yeah,
interesting things about the Big Bang is that it predicts, right, the inflation, right, and it actually predicts, right, some of the behaviors or what we would see in the universe as a result of the inflation. I'll give you an
Yes,
example.
that's correct.
The distribution, the large scale distribution of structures in the universe, being, the amount of helium, the amount of hydrogen, the spreading out of the galaxies in the solar systems, that distribution of matter in the universe is actually predicted within the Big Bang cosmology, right? Based on the scientific calculations and what we understand about the natural universe. So we talk about the predictive nature of science as well. And this is in that the actual distribution of matter is one of those really, really fundamental, you would say, things that gives credence to the Big Bang, or a piece of empirical evidence that leads to our understanding and saying that yes, the Big Bang is something that actually occurred.
But that's why the mathematics are so important. You know what I'm saying, Brendan? It's
Yeah.
see, it's not just going and inventing an equation or thinking of an equation out of your head. Your equations, in order for them to be legit, they have to be predictive as well. You know what I'm saying? So in science, if your equations aren't predicting anything, then there's no way to prove that they're right or wrong. Now, those predictions may not come through in your lifetime, but if your equations are sound, those predictions will be had, will be found if it's sound. So me just coming to tell you 2 + 2 - 6 equals gravity, nah, that ain't gonna work. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's not gonna work. It has to be an equation, and in order for it to be sound, the equation has to be predictive as well.
Right.
And
Right.
we finding that even with you know general relativity.
Mm,
That equation, if you write that equation out, it's probably going to take about 5 or 6 chalkboards. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? But it makes predictions. And so far, at certain points in those equations, it's going to say, well, you should be able to see this, and
mm,
you should be able to see this. You know, Einstein never thought that the things that were predicted in his equations would ever be found. And
mm.
he's been gone a long time, but we still using those equations, and we're finding what the equation predicted today because we have the technology and the tools to find those predictions. So it's the mathematics are very important. Don't ever let nobody try to downplay the mathematics when it comes to science, because you're gonna run into all kinds of problems.
Right, and that's the one of the one ways that we prove things is through the mathematics, and just as I'll let brother Unk jump in here in terms of the predictive nature. We're talking about the structure of the universe and how the Big Bang actually predicted that, and what the model actually says. It predicts that the universe would be isotropic, right? So essentially, what that means is that if you peer out at any direction of the universe, right? Essentially, what that means is that the universe would look relatively the same overall in any direction that you make an observation. And we can see that in the CMB, right? When we actually observe the CMB. Of course, there's minor temperature fluctuations overall, right? We have some hotter or denser areas or regions of the universe. That's where matter sort of clumps up in its various regions. But overall, right, across those 93 billion light years of the visible universe, overall, we have an isotropic or a homogeneous universe. And again, the Big Bang cosmology predicts that.
Oh yeah, and we mentioned things like the CMB, the cosmic microwave background. Well, that's predicted,
Right. Right.
and
Absolutely.
the gravitational waves were predicted. The gravitational waves were just discovered here, what, 2015 maybe, 2013, something like that. So
Right.
it was damn near 100 years after the equation that what the equation predicted was found. So it takes time, but
Oh yeah.
science is going to be thorough. You know what I'm saying? And
Right, because
it's
we
it's
didn't
just
even know if we could create a tool to measure the gravitational waves.
yeah,
But of
exactly.
course, right, we have brilliant experimental physicists that came up with a technique, and I think we've got two observatories. I forget where they're located. I've got a source that actually talks about those, and again,
One's
they're
in
all
Livingston, Louisiana, and the other
mm,
one they have one in the state of Washington. I can't remember what city. And
right.
and then there's one over in Italy, I believe.
Mm,
But there's talks of putting one out in space, building a
oh,
gravitational wave detector out in space. So they're in the talks for that too. So
right.
they're expanding their technology.
Right, right. And when we talk about gravitational waves, again, we never like to leave the audience in mystery when we talk about these things. Essentially, what the theory of general relativity says is that we should see gravitational waves when there is a cataclysmic phenomena that happen inside of the cosmos. Things like the merger or the merger of a black holes, right? That should send out a ripple through space time that we should be able to measure, and that's what we talk about, a gravitational wave, right? This is a wave that travels at the speed of light, right? Essentially, rippling throughout the universe, and it should be something that's measurable, and that's something that we actually were able to prove. So again, that's another piece of observational evidence that gives credence to the correctness of Einstein's theory of general relativity.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it was a major discovery, but now they're man, they finding all kind of different
mm,
phenomenon that's happening. Using those gravity wave detectors, they
mm,
figuring out the signal for neutron star mergers, black
yep,
hole mergers, supernovas, all kind of stuff, man. So that gravitational wave, that's one of the new fields of astronomy. They
mm,
call it gravitational wave astronomy. That's what it's called, and it's serious, man. So that's another
yeah.
avenue. That's another avenue we as a community can bring our kids up to take advantage of. You know what I'm saying? This is this is something real, and this is an opportunity, to get you a Nobel Peace Prize. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Especially if you don't do it, maybe your children or your grandchildren may do it. It's like, because us, we're scared. We're scared to death of a math equation. I tell you, but we got to change that. We got to change that. All right. So speaking of gravity, all right, and some of the conversations, and this next slide, this is somewhat, it deviates a bit from the early universe, but this is something that has been asked about in our chat for us to discuss, and it's dark matter, right? Again, dark matter is one of those things that's always sort of top of mind for the conscious community, just for its very namesake. We talk about dark matter. I think the brother initially called it black matter, right? So for obvious reasons, right, this is a topic that's very interesting to the conscious community, or something that they tend to follow, right? So this whole idea about dark matter, right? What is dark matter? I guess the short answer is that we don't know. Let's close the slide.
Yeah,
but
that's
but
it.
again, like we won't be that short with it, right? Let's talk about, we don't know what it is. We're done with that,
We
right?
don't
So
know.
right, exactly. But in terms of when we talk about dark matter, right, and the understanding of gravity, right? So let's go back to gravity a bit. Just back up, right? So in terms of what we understand about gravity, right? Every object, right? Every particle, every piece of gas, every planet, every star has a gravitational impact on every other piece of matter inside of the universe, right? That's what in Newtonian physics or in Newtonian gravity, it talks about gravity being universal, right? Gravity, anything with mass, right, has a gravitational impact in any on any other massive object inside of the universe. And the magnitude of that attraction or that force, so to speak, right, is relative to the mass of the object and its distance, right? And one of the things that's interesting about galaxies is that, you know, we can pretty much calculate the amount of mass inside of a galaxy by measuring its luminosity, right? We talk about the luminosity and how bright a galaxy is, right? One of the ways why we can do this, or why we can do this, is that most of the mass, or the visible mass, so to speak, in a galaxy is wrapped up in the stars, right? So what we do as observational or physicists or astronomers, they'll look at a galaxy, they'll judge about how bright it is, right? We do calculations, we do the parallax calculations in terms of what its distance is, and then we can pretty much measure, right, and or predict, right, how much mass or how much gravity, the gravitational effects that we should see within that galaxy, right? But there's one big problem, right, or a big mystery that the physicists and the astronomers are seeing, is that the motion of the gravities, the rotational motion of both gravities and galaxies and galaxy clusters, right? Galaxies don't move in accordance to the amount of visible matter that we see with it wrapped up inside of the galaxies or inside of those clusters, right? So knowing that the gravitational effect is directly related to the motion, right? What we postulate is that there must be more gravity inside of these astronomical bodies than what we can observe, right? So I think it's predicted that about 85% of the mass of a galaxy is actually wrapped up in dark, or actually in the universe. It's like 85% of the matter in the universe is dark matter, right? So the overwhelming majority of the matter inside of our universe, we don't even know what it is, right? Which is a huge mystery, or one of the most long-standing mysteries inside of physics and inside of astronomy, right? So in terms of, there's some theories in terms of what it may be, right? So some people say that, okay, well, we may not necessarily understand some of the fundamental ways in terms of how gravity works, right? It's not very likely, because there's a lot of things that we can predict in terms of gravity. We have a really good understanding in terms of what it is. So we don't think it's likely that we don't understand gravity, right? What's more plausible, right, is this idea that there's some type of matter, some exotic form of matter that's out there that we can't necessarily observe, right? There's like, I'll give you an example of the neutrino. We talk about those fundamental particles, and a neutrino is a particle that's what we call a weakly interacting particle, right? You got neutrinos that are streaming through your body right now, millions of them. They're passing through the universe, right? They essentially ignore us. They go through us, right, completely undetected. Right, and one thing about a neutrino, it has a very, very, very small mass as well. And what we think dark matter may be, or what they postulate that it could be, is that it's something similar to the neutrino, right? What we call it a weakly interacting massive particle, or a WIMP, right? But when we say massive, not massive on an astronomical scale, we're saying it probably has a little bit more mass than a neutrino, right? Because that's why we can actually measure this additional mass inside of the universe. But again, right, it's something that doesn't necessarily interact easily with all the other matter that we see inside of the universe, right? Again, that's highly theoretical, but in terms of our understanding today of what dark matter is, again, it's a complete mystery. We don't know just yet. Right. And akin to the same thing, right? Its mysterious counterpart is dark energy, right? We talk about the expansion of the universe and how the universe is continuing to expand, actually at an accelerating rate, right? Okay, well, inside of the universe, we know that nothing actually moves without a corresponding force. So we postulate that dark energy could be that unseen force that's fusing the expansion, right? The rapid expansion and of acceleration of the dark of the universe.
Yeah, you got the pseudo starting to weigh in. You must have got them.
No, we're not saying that they found dark matter. We're saying that those are theories in
Got
terms
them
of what
weighing in.
how many times did we say that we don't know what it is? Those are theories, right? Of course, right? We don't
understand the
know what
effects,
dark matter
though.
is. That's why
Yeah,
that's why we still call it dark.
right. They don't even know why it's called
Yeah,
dark
they
matter.
don't.
Right.
I had
Nah,
a pseudo explanation. Go ahead, Andy.
nah. We don't. It's something. They know it's something. They just don't know what it is because it doesn't interact with light. But
Right.
it it has an effect on light. You know, it can actually bend light. And like you were saying earlier, it also helps bind galaxies together to keep them from, all the stars from flying away or keeping the galaxy from ripping itself apart. So
Right.
they know it's something, but what it is, they don't know. So that's why they refer to it as dark,
Right.
because
And
they don't
the
know what
amount
it
of
is.
visible, yeah, and the amount of visible matter that we see inside of a galaxy and a galaxy cluster doesn't equate to the amount of gravity that we should see that's enough to hold it together. Just the simple
Yeah,
fact that we
exactly.
do, yeah, the simple fact that we have galactic clusters that orbit each other, and the simple fact that we have the rotational effects of spiral galaxies in the way that we see them and observe it gives credence to saying, hey, there's some residual matter, a ton of it, not just residual. There's a ton of matter that's out there that's causing these gravitational effects that we don't see.
Yeah, exactly. And once again,
It goes to the
the
math again,
mathematics come into
right?
play.
Right.
You
Those
know
are the
what I'm saying?
simulations. Yep, and you can pull up
Yeah,
simulations of the rotational effects of gravity online and stuff. It's to me, it's fascinating sort of research to do.
but
Mm.
it rears
So
its
yes,
ugly head again.
So yes, that good guy. We don't know. We started out saying we don't know what dark matter is. We'll end the conversation with dark matter saying we don't know what it is.
Yeah, but
But
just
we
because you
do
don't
know
know,
how it
just because
affects
you
it.
don't know what something is, it don't mean you don't know how something affects everything around it. See,
Exactly.
that's a
It-
part that everybody want to miss. Man, let me do this real quick. 2
right.
points here. All right. Share my screen real quick, give you something from NASA. Work out the percentages for a minute, right? Then I want to come to this little work right here. Excellent book. Got a whole chapter on the round, right? Kill any flat earther half to death, beat them half to death, right? It's called The Round. I think it's page 124, 197. Yeah, it's got The Round, called that. Let's see. Yep. On Being Round, that's page 134, talking about the cosmic forces that cause things, force them into certain shapes. That's important, right? Then he has a chapter on dark matter and dark energy. So I think we was on what? We was on dark matter. Am I correct?
Correct. Yep.
So let's talk about dark energy real quick. You kind of talked about it. Neil says, as if it didn't have enough, as if we didn't have enough to worry about. The universe in recent decades has discovered to wield a mysterious pressure. Okay, talking about a mysterious pressure now, right? What is meant by pressure? Some
It's a
type of
force.
force, okay, that issues forth from the vacuums of space and that acts opposite cosmic gravity. See, they know this. They know it's acting opposite of cosmic gravity, right? It say not only that this negative gravity will ultimately win the tug of war as it forces the cosmic expansion to accelerate exponentially into the future. So right here, this astrophysicist, he gives you a brief description, right, of what dark energy is. Brief description of it. Doesn't mean that they know everything about all this, but let's talk about what they do know for a minute. Brennan, I think you talked about that. Let me just show a source on that real fast. Yeah, we hear them talking. They talk the talk. Let's see how much competition we get when we issue out that link, man. Matter of fact, let's issue. Well, how many more slides y'all got?
That's pretty much it, man.
Pretty
We
much
just
it?
wanted to kind of go through that. I don't know in terms of going through some of the elementary particles, but again, we've got plenty of time to go through the details of this. So yeah, if we want to open the panel for good discussion, absolutely, let's do that.
Yeah, get them in there. So we're gonna go to NASA website for a sec. NASA Science. All right, we're gonna go here. All right, and it says right here, what is dark energy? Okay, it say more is unknown that is known. Come right off the rip. I'm gonna say this again. This is NASA Science, and off the rip they tell you more is unknown than is known. See, they tell you the truth. They don't start making up stuff like the pseudo do. It say we know how much dark energy there is because we know how it affects the universe's expansion. Other than that, it is a complete mystery. Now, I don't know what these people in the chat think they know, but if NASA don't know and the scientific community don't know, y'all sure as hell don't know, and the pseudo explanation is not going to fly. It's not flying. We're going to clip your wings right off the top. Goes on to say, but it is an important mystery. At least they know it's a mystery. They know enough to know that they don't know. Y'all don't know enough to know that you don't know. That's why we get the chatty patties in the chat. Make sure y'all hit that link. It said it turns out that roughly 68% of the universe is dark energy. Dark matter makes up about 27%. The rest, everything on Earth, everything ever observed with all of our instruments, all normal matter adds up to less than 5% of the universe. See, that's a statement right there. You say, wow, that's it? All the other regular matter, normal matter only makes up 5%. See, that's counterintuitive. See,
Everything we see.
right. It's a counterintuitive point right there. Very, very counterintuitive. Watch this. Come to think of it, maybe it should be called normal matter at all. Shouldn't be called normal matter at all, since it is such a small fraction of our universe. So the stuff that you see, bro, it's a very, very, very small fraction. So in your mind, remember your senses ain't made to understand that, to put that together just by looking at it. They had to use scientific instruments to figure this out. With your eyes, you see the desk, you see this, you go outside, you see the trees, the birds, bees, you see the billions of stars. That's a lot. No, it's only 5% of everything. Just want to make that point very clear, right, as we move on the discussion. So, I'm going to drop that link and let's see who got the brave hearts in there. I know they brave hearts. Right. And, I got a clip on the flat earth. Right. Very good. And it ends up being the same type of thing, counterintuitive. Like I say, we up against it, Mr. Anthony and Sirius B. We're definitely up against it because the things and subjects that we talk about is counterintuitive. And so it makes more sense for them to say the things that they're saying, like the earth is flat. I say it all the time. It makes more sense. Right? Your common sense tell you, your senses tell you. You go outside, you see as far as you can see, it's flat. We don't see the shape, right? Because we're like a microorganism on Earth. People don't even recognize the sheer scale and size of the planet Earth. Oh, we're not connected to monkeys. They smell different. They eat different things. It's no way. Dogs, cats, birds, roaches, ain't got nothing to do with us. We human-centric. It's counterintuitive to think anything outside of that. Now, hit that link. Let's see who hit that link. Bet you ain't gonna hit that link. How much you want to bet? But nobody. The black guy, the black matter guy for the last month, they're not gonna hit that link, man. They not. And it's wild. We'll give them a chance. So let's get this first clip. All right. Let's go with the first clip. We're gonna deal with Neil deGrasse. Let's see what the great brother has to say. All right. We can comment on it. All right.
It's called oblique.
I mean, I'd like to see how that
Oblique
question was
spheroid.
asked.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because if they know that we are oblate, and the thing is asking, is Earth a ball? They'll say, no, we're an oblate ball. It was slightly wider below the equator than at the equator, so we're a pear-shaped oblate spheroid.
But it's not a pear that you would find normally. If you found that pear, you'd be like, this fucking pear that's shaped like a ball.
So these distinctions, these differences in measurements are so small that if you found it on the ground, you would say this is a perfect sphere.
Right.
Let me tell you how good a sphere it is.
Right.
All right, you ever see the schoolroom globes, the geographic globes, and you rub your finger over Nepal and you get the Himalayas. Yeah, you get the Rockies. You say, oh, that is a gross exaggeration of reality.
Yes.
Do you realize if you took Earth with all its mountains, valleys, and hills and that, and shrunk it down to the size of a cue ball, it would be smoother than any cue ball ever machined? Yes.
It's one of them counterintuitive points right there. How could that be possible, ladies and gentlemen? How could that be possible, right? Let me see, make sure my settings is right on this and I'm not getting the audio hooked up. You know, like, how could that be possible, Brendan? We see the valleys, the peaks. We see how deep the ocean is. We see mountains, Mount Everest. How as human beings look to scale, we see how big a mountain range is, right? How could that be possible? I can't. You on mute. Sorry. Series B, you on mute.
It's similar to this. Have you ever seen like the pictures of people's skin very, very close up? Like the photographs of your hand or your skin. When you take a look at it, very, very, very close magnification of your skin, right? It's extremely bumpy, it's porous. You see all this stuff on it that you normally wouldn't see when you zoom out, right? When you zoom out, your skin looks relatively smooth. That's sort of, in terms of the scale of the Earth, right? When you zoom out, right, the size overall, right, sort of evens out some of the roughs and the peaks and the valleys and all that stuff. That's pretty much what we're sort of explaining here. Overall, that the Earth is an oblong spheroid. Of course, right, when we're standing on the Earth, right, exactly. But when you're standing, we're like a very, very small insect. We're standing on the Earth. Obviously, we're gonna see those ripples and valleys and things similar to when you zoom in to an image of your skin.
Correct. And so when you zoom out, right, it appears to be round, right? It's actually not round, right? It's a spherical, and it looks like kind of like a pear shape. Kind of bulges out near the equator. Very interesting. Right. Like people don't get that. Like an ant. How is an ant stronger than a human? Right? Like you wouldn't get that to scale. See, to scale. My fault. An ant is clearly stronger than a human. Lift a few times his own body weight. Something humans can't do. You wouldn't get that. You just step on an ant, right? Crush it out. You was gonna say something, Anthony?
Yeah, you speaking on the body weight. You got humans that can't even do one push-up, let alone carry their own body weight for a nice distance. Yeah, it's just an ant, but you gotta, like you said, you using the comparison of being able to carry the amount of body weight. How many more times its own body weight can it carry? And I think that's phenomenal. But that also speaks on, that video also speaks on the importance of the tools that are used in science, because a lot of us, we want to depend on our five senses, but I can be the first to tell you that my eyes do not compare to my telescope. It don't compare. And when I put a camera on that telescope, then the eyepiece it doesn't compare. So it's the tools that are developed along the way to help understand a lot of these concepts and things. And you know that goes hand in hand with the science. It's the tools that are used to come to these conclusions because we're not using our five senses. You know, that's our five senses aren't good enough, you know, for most scientific experiments.
Mm-hmm.
So the tools are very important.
Mm-hmm. Very important. So let's come to the next clip. Okay, how my mic sound? I think I did some more adjustments. How it sounded, Brendan?
Sounds good.
All right, I'm
Sounds
good. Okay, let's come to this next clip here. Yeah, no flat earthers is gonna get a person that's scientifically literate. They're gonna play games. They can play around the Mario. They like playing the merry-go-round scenario. Yeah, that's what they do. They merry-go-round you to half to death. Not gonna give you something. They're not gonna give you nothing that's serious. They're not gonna get past nature. Nature is serious.
And while you pull that up, it's a sort of an important thing. We talk about Earth being the oblong spheroid. That description is important because in some applications, we have to have precision measurements based on the size of the Earth. So having that understanding that, yes, the Earth is not a perfect sphere, that comes into play when we need to do precision measurements for certain scientific applications. So they have to take that into account when they do it.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
Is it a spheroid? Is that what it's called? Oblique?
I mean, I'd like to see how that question was asked.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because if they know that we are oblate, and the thing is asking, is Earth a ball? They'll say, no, we're an oblate ball. We're slightly wider below the equator than at the equator, so we're a pear-shaped oblate spheroid.
But it's not a pear that you would find normally. If you found that pear, you'd be like, this fucking pear that's shaped like a ball.
So these distinctions, these differences in measurements are so small that if you found it on the ground, you would say this is a perfect sphere.
Right.
Let me tell you.
You found on the ground, you would think it's a perfect sphere. That's interesting right there. Let's move to the next clip. Okay. Is it this one or that one? Say?
What? Think about it.
What?
Think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's. How high up is that? It was 28,000 feet. So it's like 5 miles up. Okay.
Right.
The distance between the lowest point on Earth's surface and the highest point on Earth's surface is 11 miles.
That's here to the Comedy Store.
That is less than the length of Manhattan.
Whoa.
Yet we are 8,000 miles in diameter.
Okay, that's a point right there. That's a counterintuitive point right there. Let's run this back again. We watch the expert unlock. Right? He made some clear points right here. Watch how he unlocked this. Watch how he explains this. You can catch it.
On Earth's surface and the highest point on Earth's surface.
Hold on.
Okay?
Right.
The distance between the lowest point on Earth's surface and the highest point on Earth's surface is 11 miles.
11 miles. How is that possible? What is he saying? Now watch for the explanation.
That's here to the Comedy Store.
That is less than the length of Manhattan.
Whoa.
Yet we are 8,000 miles in diameter.
That scale, how big it is, how large the Earth is what make those things shrink at those distances. Think about that. It's counterintuitive. Now you can start to see how the expert explained it. Now you can start to see why he makes the statement that if you was to find it, it'd be smooth. Right. You would have to be some galactic being. Let's finish this.
And those 2 points are very far separated from one another. If you were a cosmic giant and you came up to Earth and you rubbed your finger over Earth's surface, it would feel as smooth as a cue ball to you.
Wow.
In fact, in this book, I have a whole chapter on being round, which is all about this. It's all about our perception of what is round and what is not.
I had asked you to debate one of them flat Earth guys.
No, I can't.
Yeah.
Yes, he's not going to debate that. He's not doing that. It's not doing that. Nah. We don't do that. That's why a lot of conversations they want to debate, I just won't do it. Not that I'm on the level of him, but some things I'm not gonna debate whether Crystal got some energy or not. Come on, man. But you got to catch the explanation of what he's saying. This is the conversation. That's a high level conversation right there. That's how large the earth is. That the distance between the highest mountain peak and the lowest valley, right, measures out to be what, 11 miles? That's crazy. Why would that be? Because the daggone thing is so large, the scale he's talking about. Let me go back to this right here and see, right? Let me see this point.
Think about this. Joe, really? Joe, chill. Listen to me. You ready? Okay? Do you know the deepest part of Earth's crust? The Marianas Trench, off the coast of the Philippines, in the Pacific Ocean.
That's the deepest part.
Deepest part. It goes 6 miles down. Okay?
Oh, okay. So, okay.
Without
I was
digging.
thinking of the depth.
Are you sharing the video? I hear the sound.
Oh, my fault. Let me go back. Hold on.
Oh, here we go. There
Think
we go.
about this. Joe,
Really?
Joe,
Everest?
chill. Listen to me.
Damn.
You ready? Okay? Do you know the deepest part of Earth's crust?
No,
The Marianas Trench, off the coast of the Philippines, in the Pacific Ocean.
that's the deepest part.
Deepest part. It goes 6 miles down. Okay?
Oh, okay. So, okay. I was,
Without
I was
digging.
thinking of the depth of
Sorry,
the crust.
exactly.
itself.
No, just access to the deepest part of Earth's crust, the lowest point on Earth's surface. the
6
Marianas
miles.
Trench, right off the coast of the Philippines. The highest point on Earth's surface, the tip of K1.
K2? Is it K1 or K2? Which one? Is it Japan?
I think it's K1. Well, why would you name the tallest peak K2?
That's a good point.
I'm just, I'm not a mountain climber, but I'm just thinking.
Where's K1?
K1, it's the Himalayan mountains
Okay.
in Nepal. Okay, isn't it in Nepal? I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's.
So hold on. So 6 miles. 6. I think it's finished right here. Watch this.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's. How high up is that? It was 28,000 feet. So it's like 5 miles up.
Now we got it. You got the 6 miles going down, and you got about the 5 to 6 miles going up. That's 11. That's 11 miles, ladies and gentlemen. That's 11 miles. Now, see, we got them. They in checkmate form. Let me finish this. They in checkmate. Now we clear. 6 miles going down and 6 miles going to 5 to 6 miles. That's about 11 to 10 miles. That don't seem like a lot. You sitting here saying, but man, that's not a lot. Man, try to climb Mount Everest 6 miles high. See, you can't even comprehend that. That's the tallest mountain on planet Earth is Mount Everest. But it's only 6 miles high. The Great Pyramids is only 50 feet high. See that? High. Now we starting to work now. Now we starting to work through the things that are counterintuitive. Let them finish. Once y'all get this, man, y'all beating all the flat earthers up. Watch this. Simple. See, we need the simple explanations, right? We need the experts to come in.
The distance between the lowest point on Earth's surface and the highest point on Earth's surface is 11 miles.
That's here in the Comedy Store.
That is less than the length of Manhattan. Yet we are 8,000 miles in diameter. And those 2 points are very far separated from one another. If you were a cosmic giant and you came up to Earth and you rubbed your finger over Earth's surface, it would feel as smooth as a cue ball to you. In fact, in this book, I have a whole chapter called On Being Round, which is all about this. All about our perception of what is round and what is not.
I had asked you to debate one of them flat Earth guys.
No, I can't.
Nah, I don't. No, I'm not gonna do that. No, I can't. No, I'm not. Yeah, hey, Brendan. See, that conversation is really over with at this point. Like I just gave up the checkmate piece, right? Because when you got a checkmate piece, even if they know it, they can't get past the checkmate piece. That's why it's called a checkmate piece. Always give my opponent a checkmate piece. When I'm gonna use in the debate, this is what I'm gonna use to you. You have to get out of that. You can't. You're in checkmate. That's 6 miles down, 6 miles high. You know what I'm saying? Manhattan is only 11 miles. Look at that. But look at the whole dynamic of the earth and how far it's actually separated, which would make it smooth. You get that? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know something else on what he did in that is he just killed him. You know, when you look at the picture of the Earth from the International Space Station, you know, that's 200 and some thousand miles away. Now it's starting to look perfectly round to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he killed him with that. It's the distance, or when he compared to shrinking it down to a cue ball. You know what I'm saying?
Smooth.
That's like giving you that distance away from it. So that's why the Earth looks so perfectly round from a picture from the space station.
Right. So it's not round. It's not that, right? It's oblate. How you say it? Oblique.
Oblate. Oh, he said oblate.
Oblique.
I was calling it oblong, but
no,
I was calling it oblong, but it's actually oblate.
Oblique.
So yeah.
Oblate, spherical,
Okay.
like a pear shape, right? Because it bulges out just below the equator, right? And look at the shit. Like we like a microorganism on the planet, man. You don't see. You can't even. Hey, man, if the Earth is moving and you jump up, you're gonna fly off the Earth. Let's try it again.
If the Earth is moving and you jump up to dunk a basketball, you gonna fly off the Earth.
Right. Because they don't understand the sheer magnitude, the sheer size of the Earth. Like, for instance, you know, we driving down highways, major arteries, major highways, right? You look at those signs. You get out your car, you walk up to the sign, it's a giant. Those steel poles that hold them signs, right? How tall they are. And then you like, man, that's a big sign, man. But you can't see that sign from space. That sign is like this. If you ever been to the top of the Empire State Building, human beings look like little specks. Why would that be? We talking scale here, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, you can't feel the earth moving, no matter how fast it is. Of course, you can't feel it moving. Not to mention, you know what I'm saying, you're made and you're designed. Now, I don't want to say design. They're going to take that run with it. You're just made in the environment of an earth that's been moving since it came into being. You know what I'm saying? The smashing together of dust particles. And human beings, when the life forms arrived on Earth, right? They was forged in the atmosphere of Earth.
You just call it what it is. We evolved to survive on this planet. This planet wasn't made for us. We evolved here. That's why all those things don't occur. When you jump, you don't fly off. You know, you evolve to be here. Now you go outside of this Earth's atmosphere, you got problems. I don't care what star you came from. You got problems when you get outside of this atmosphere. That's just what it is. You have to have protection. You have to have a suit. You know, you can't just put your Jordans on and go to space. That ain't gonna happen.
Right. You have to do constant exercise,
So
right?
we
Because
evolved to be on this planet.
you have to do constant exercise because your body is evolved or it's equipped to counteract or to withstand the force of gravity. Right. That's why when astronauts go out into space, they have to have a strict exercise regimen because when you come back to Earth, right, and the entire force of gravity from the entire planet hits your body, right, you're gonna feel those forces. Think about if you spend a little bit of time in a pool. Right? Have you ever noticed this, Anthony? When you're playing around in the pool when you was a kid, then you try to jump out of that pool, and it seems like you got a ton of bricks on your back, right? That's that force of gravity hitting you, saying that yeah, I'm still here, right? I know you felt a little bit lighter inside of the pool, right? But that gravity will let you know when you get out of the pool, it's still there. It's universal.
Yeah, that's a great analogy there, Brendan. Because you're absolutely right. I mean, it's being in that water. You
Just for a
you
short
kind
period of
of
time. And that's crazy. Just for a short period of time.
gravity free. Yeah, yeah. But that's what they use to train astronauts. They train in a big old huge pool. You know what I'm saying? To get that no gravity effect. With all of their gear on.
Yep.
They're in a NASA has, if I'm not mistaken, it might be the biggest pool in the world. you know,
Hmm.
but they actually train underwater for those missions. So that's a great analogy that you use there.
Yep, absolutely. And we talked about, I hit on this earlier. We said that we're documenting the claims of the flat earth foolery, right? So I don't know. I know Brother Unc, he's mulling over the idea of having a debate with the flat earthers.
Yeah, they
So
might have ran. I think I scared them up. I think I kind of scared them
think,
up, like studying them. And I have a way of scaring people up.
oh yeah.
I don't know why.
They all won't smoke until you on the bumper, right? So
Right.
when you're on their bumper, it's like, oh, how you
You're like,
messing? How you
oh,
bothering me?
why you messing with me? Why you doing that? Why you call me Avery? Let me show you. So we just made a point, Anthony, about how humans are forged right in the atmosphere of Earth. And I think Brendan, Cyrus B, I think you said, no, it was you, and you said you have a problem when you leave the atmosphere of the Earth. Yeah, you got to wear masks and spacesuits, right? Talk about you have to, your muscles lose density and all that. That gravity starts affecting you, and zero gravity starts affecting you in different ways, right? And leave the comforts of America and go abroad into another ecosystem, right? You're in a different environment. Let's show this. This is the same point we're making. Watch how we doing it. Let me share the screen. All right. We're forged here, right? Here you go. Interesting. So we come to the Journal of Science. All right. How Europeans brought sickness to the New World. Isolated tribes emerged today face echoes of the epidemics that began in 1492 and were repeated for centuries. Okay? When we come here, it says, talking about how many people was here. When Tano gathered on the shores of San Salvador Islands to welcome a small party of foreign sailors on the 12th of October, 1942. They had little idea that what laid in store. They laid down their weapons willingly and brought the foreign sailors, Christopher Columbus, named Christopher Colon, and his crewmen tokens of friendship, parrots, bits of cotton thread, and other presents. Columbus later wrote that the Taino remained so much our friends that it was a marvel. These people were definitely peaceful. Watch this. This is deep right here. Okay. A year later, Columbus built his first town on the nearby island Hispaniola. He was the governor, right? Where the Taino numbered at the least 60,000 and possibly as many as 8 million. Y'all see this? Okay. Now, did they shoot them all up? What did they do? What happened? According to some estimates, but by 1548, the Taino population there had plummeted to less than 500. Man, do y'all see that? Lacking immunity to old world pathogens. See, this is where we win the debate on vaccines. These Native Americans they wasn't in the industrial age. nor was the Europeans that came there. There's no chemicals. There's no pesticides. There's none of these things. Food was crystal clear. No processed foods, ladies and gentlemen. Hand grown. You don't get no more natural than 1548 in the Americas. You won't ever get that again. Pesticides, they're all over planet Earth. Even when you try to farm in your little plot and your little land, wherever you at, it's still affected by pesticides. Because guess what? Everything is connected on planet Earth. The drainage, the water level, all that goes back into the water. Y'all know the cycle, the rain and the whole 9 yards. So yes, pesticides, right, are everywhere on planet Earth. The point I want to make here is that lacking immunity to old world pathogens carried by the Spanish, Hispaniolas, indigenous inhabitants, fell victim to terrible plagues of smallpox, influenza, and other viruses. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how we know that there's a piece of people in the conscious community that lied to you. They lied to you on two fronts. The first front, that the vegetables and eating the natural way of life is going to save you. It didn't help those indigenous people in Hispaniola from 8 million to 500. If the native population was indigenous Africans, they wouldn't have fell. They would have had immunity because Africans come from what? The old world. What's the old world? Ghana, Egypt, Sudan, Kenya. Old world populations. The oldest populations on planet Earth reside in Africa, later on Asia. Europeans was part of the old world. They had immunity. The first reported case of smallpox occurs in Egypt, recorded. Old world, West Africa, been in a world from the beginning to the point where they had developed an idea in West Africa. They had developed an idea in Asia, part of the old world. Fight the pathogen with the pathogen, meaning cause an immune response. And it ain't gonna happen with vegetables and chicken feed like y'all think. The point I want to make here is we're talking about these Europeans was forged in an environment of Europe. And later Africans that came over was forged in an environment in Africa. And they brought different types of diseases to the Americas that wiped them out. Wasn't the Great War like y'all think? It was the pathogens. And we got people amongst us that promote rice, chicken broth. We heard it all, ladies and gentlemen. Chicken broth soup going to cure the coronavirus. 5K is going to cure the coronavirus. We heard all that, ladies and gentlemen. Scammers, flim-flammers, bim-bammers. I just wanted to make that point.
Not the bim-bammers.
Bim-bammers.
Oh man. So in the vein of taking the guns out of their hand of the pseudos, right? Because you know that's my favorite, one of my favorite things to do here lately.
It's your forte.
Right? Exactly right. We gun fighters, right? So let's pull up some of these claims of the flat earth foolery. All right, so let's do this. Let me know if you can see this right here, brother.
Okay.
All right. Call this the foolery of the flat earthers. Right. So we're going through documenting these claims. And again, you're not at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to use this. We're taking all the guns, we're taking your weapons away, we disarming you. Right. So let's start at the very top, right? This whole idea that all the ancient civilizations had a concept of the flat earth. Right? of course, right? This is something that is documented in history. There are many ancient archaic civilizations that did have the cosmological sort of description of the flat earth, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that that was true, right? We know that, those ancient civilizations had many things that were misconceptions, and we talk about the intuitive brain, right? The idea that the mind is intuitive, but that doesn't necessarily make it a good reflection of the natural world. So that's one of the points to try to make, right? The idea that African civilizations didn't have a concept of the globe Earth. This is another claim, right? Again, they're tugging on your heartstrings, the African heartstrings there, right? Because the Africans didn't do it. It couldn't be true. You as an African, you have to follow these African centered sort of conceptualizations. Right?
That's right.
3,
African
agency. Exactly the power of African agency, right? So you got to embrace the globe, the flat Earth, right? So the 3rd, the Earth has no curvature. 4, the Earth has no spin. And 5, the Earth is perfectly still, right? Another 3 claims, right? I think those are easy to knock down. 6, water is always flat. Right? I'm quite sure you've heard that one, brother.
I ain't never heard that one. Oh my God.
About water being water never curves. When you see water in the natural universe or the natural world, you go out on the beach, looks perfectly flat to them. Right? So man. Obviously the world is flat, right? I ain't never heard that, yo. Again, rivers.
Well, what about a raindrop?
Oh man,
what about a drop of water?
A drop of water is details.
Not the drop of water.
Right,
we talking about the water, right. not the rain water.
Exactly, not the rain. That doesn't count as water. That doesn't count as water, right?
Doesn't count, buddy. Got to come together for it. The water we talking about.
Right. Again, rivers would flow uphill on a globe. I can't wrap my head around that one.
Oh man, no, you serious?
Why would a river flow uphill on a globe? I'm not sure what that is, but again, we got to put that on. We got to put that on the table. It's in the filing cabinet, right?
Water always find a level, though. You know that, right?
Yeah, but how do you account for the uphill flowing of the globe? I don't know. I don't know how you would do that.
Oh, like them pyramids had water going up it. Yeah, I know you heard that before.
Again, right? The filing cabinet is getting full right now.
We gotta get enough. We got another cabinet. We got some movers bringing in double file cabinets.
Oh yeah. All right. So here's an interesting one, and this is for that Anthony might seem as interesting. There is a black object that we don't see that causes eclipses of the sun and the moon. Right. So it's not that that the earth is casting reflection, right? There's this unknown or unseen black object that's actually doing it. Right. Okay. Again, rainbows reveal. Yeah, I'm telling you, it kind of gets far out. So number 9, rainbows reveal that there is a dome over the flat earth.
Oh man.
Okay, the rainbows. Okay.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. Hold up, wait a minute. How can that be if the sun is inside of the dome, but the rainbow, you can see the rainbow in between your line of sight.
Anthony, you're trying to build a consistent model. That's where you're going wrong. You're trying to build a consistent model.
Yeah, see, that's what I want them to do, because that's what I want them to do, and do all that on one model.
You can't have one piece of the model contradict the other piece of the model, right? It's like building a car and saying, okay, well, I'm gonna slap some square tires on the car, right? It's like it breaks the entire model when you do that, right? You can't.
And I get it, man. See, that's why you can't ask.
And you gotta put it. You gotta put them
you can't
all on the
question it.
table. Yeah, you gotta put all the claims on the table at once, and
That's crazy.
then you piece them together, and now you see it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right?
Read
The
comment. Read
None
before
at
you do
all.
that. Read the comment, Brendan.
All right, this
Serious
is
B.
the young dude at work tried to tell me the world was flat. I told him that I live on a hill. He got mad. Sometimes the best counter, the best way to fight is with sure ridicule, right?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Right.
Go ahead, man. Y'all wow,
Oh,
man.
man.
That's funny. That's a good one, yo. That's the
That's a good one now.
Number 10. There's no real and unedited picture of the universe of the earth that exists. Again, no real and unedited picture of the earth actually exists, because all those pictures from NASA and the International Space Station, right? All of those are fake, quote unquote, Photoshop, and it's part of the massive conspiracy theory to hide this flat earth truth from you.
See, that's that level G. That's that G13 classified you get in the Air Force. That's that information now. See,
There it
we're
is.
not privy to that. We
Right.
didn't. I didn't go to the Air Force, so I can't get that G14 classified information. That's where the Earth flat is.
Number 11. The sun is close to the earth and not 93 million miles away.
Oh man.
Right? So the sun is right. It's right there. Right? Why would it be 93 million miles? You see it. It's right there.
But how do they know? Tell me how they know. What, they don't do math. So what math? They don't use tools. They just use the five senses. So tell me, how do they know it's not 93 million miles away? You know what I'm saying? How they know?
You just stand outside and look at it and point. It's right there. Right? It's like, I don't.
Well,
Right.
I mean, so is Walmart, but I can't touch it. Walmart right there.
Right.
But I still got to get there.
Right.
And I have a speedometer in my truck that measures, my distance. So I can give you the distance from here to Walmart.
Right.
But we have tools that gives us that we can get those distances. So what tools are they using that counters the tools that science uses to get those estimates? Or is it just coming from the charismatic leader that can't be questioned? You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm coming from with it.
Oh yeah. So number 12, the sun and the moon can only be out at the same time on a flat earth model.
What?
Again, these are the claims of the flat earth foolery. This is flat earth foolery. So I can only present the claims as they're made, right? We'll get into how we're going to debunk these, I guess, at some point, but some of them don't make a whole lot of sense. 13 is an interesting one, right? It says that you can only see Polaris, the North Star, from everywhere on the earth, right? If the earth was flat. This is only on the flat earth. That the fact that everyone on earth can see the North Star is proof that the earth is flat. But we'll go ahead and knock that one down right now. No, not everybody on the earth can see the North Star, right? You cannot observe the North Star from the southern hemisphere.
Somebody tell that person that.
Yeah, so that one's just a flat out. You just shouldn't say that. Just flat out shouldn't say it. No pun intended. So the idea that
Timmy, here you go, Timmy. You can drop the link for you, Mr. Timmy.
Right.
Mr. Timmy went on.
And this is the final one for tonight. And we've got more. We've got more of these. But the final one for the night, it says that the rays from the sun are quote unquote triangulated. I think he means divergent. Right? The light actually diverges. It says, which proves that the sun is close to the earth. Right? Have you ever seen like the pictures of the sun as they come through the clouds, right? And that the sun rays look like they're sort of divergent, they're not straight, right? That's the evidence that the sun is right, it's right there. Why would that happen? Why would the sun rays diverge? It has to be right there. Not 93 million miles. No. Again, right? These are the claims. This is just a little bit of the flat earth foolery. Stop sharing this. So,
hey, Timmy. He said he want all the smoke. Drop the link. We dropped the link, Timmy. Go ahead and go get you. There you go.
Maybe he can explain some of these claims better.
Help us out, bro.
I would really like to see him, kind of clarify this North Star thing. Right? Maybe it's another conspiracy. When you go down to Australia, maybe you can see. They're just telling you that you can't see the North Star, but you can actually see it from Australia. But problem is, I've been to Australia, and I've been in the outback observing the stars at night. No, you can't see it.
Oh man, got him. What I've been there.
Dead right there.
Kinetic energy. Y'all gotta see Professor Dave Hamilton.
That's just beautiful. It's probably one of the best places on Earth to do stargazing, because you have very little light pollution out in the outback, so you can see actually the bands of the Milky Way. It's really beautiful.
All right, who these people?
I've never been south of the equator, but I can tell you this much. When you locate the North Star, and if you associate it with your horizon, I've seen it from New Orleans, Louisiana, and I've seen it from New York City. In New York, it's much higher up in the sky than it is in New Orleans. Now that is a fact. So the further south I go towards the equator, the lower it's getting on the horizon from New York City. That is a fact. And if any of you ever get on a cruise ship, you can do the same. It's kind of hard to have your horizon, to see the horizon at night out in the ocean. But, around dusk or dawn, you know what I'm saying, when the sun getting ready to come up, you still should be able to see that star, and you should be able to have a little bit of light coming over the horizon. But if you ever in the north and you're going south, just pay attention to the location of the North Star based off of your horizon. And when you get down south, I guarantee you it's going to be lower in the sky. That's a promise.
Yeah.
I like that name, kinetic energy. Somebody finally has a actual real name in terms of when you're dealing with energy. It's not vibrational energy. It's not masculine energy, not feminine energy. His name is kinetic energy. Right? All right. Right on.
Said you gotta watch. He said you gotta watch Dave Hamilton. Dave Hamilton ain't got no written work. I'm not dealing with the YouTube dude. The YouTube dude for real. Talk about the low level. He low leveling the thing. Yeah, we can't. Yeah, he should have a paper. All that mouth he got, he should have constructed a theory, a model by now. He got a lot of mouth. Yeah, I ain't looking at Dave. Dave a nut. High level nut. Yeah, he can't. He ain't got a Wikipedia page. He wow. Yeah, Professor Dave. Yeah, I'm gonna look up Dave real quick. Yeah, he's a guy.
Yeah, man.
No,
I guess
Dave, all right, hold on, wait. Hold on. Hold on. All right, let's see. Let's look at Professor Dave. Hold on. I think I might got him.
Professor Dave.
Yeah, he worked.
Professor Dave, the real deal, dog.
Yeah, Dave, he be killing. Right, that my fault. I got that mixed up. Spoke too quick.
Yeah, Professor Dave, he the real deal. And,
yeah, he be killing the flat.
all the way in on the flat earth food.
Yeah, my fault. He be on their head. I got it mixed up with. I thought they was talking about what's his name? What's his name? Flat Power.
Oh, you're talking about you got him mixed up with an actual pseudo. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I killed him. I pseudoed him up. Yeah, it's not the same, boy. I mean, mixed up. Yeah, Dave. We can play some of Dave. We can get Dave on here, can't we? If need be, we could definitely get Dave on here. Get Dave on here. Man, come on, Tim. Come on, Tim. Tim was bluffing. Look, see, we got a bluffer. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a bluffer. I want all the smoke, drop the link. Yeah. Bluffing. Bluffmatic. Mm-hmm. I see you, Willie Daniels, man. Peace to the gods, man. 504 top level, man. Black African Power. Omar Reed, Miss Tiffany. All right. Miss Bennett, what's good with you? Keenan Wright.
Peace to everybody in the Discord, right? All of our Discord community.
That Discord be bumping. J. Cole, J. Cal, Mr. Metro, salute, champ, he out. D. Irvin, I see you. Six Finger, the creative names. Thurman, what's going on with your Thurman? Meredith. I see you, Fee. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's like duck, goose. Y'all in there having fun in that chat, man. God body. Everybody did join this, man. 82,000 building, man. Check out that new download we dropped, man. Yeah, you know, I'm glad you learned it, sis. That's what we doing over here. We putting it together, man. All day. Mm-hmm. Did I catch? Did you catch Sanchez? Look at man. Look, he's been knocked out. He running now. Yeah. Calling Sanchez. The money is there to do the debate. Where are you at? Calling Sanchez. Yeah, he probably realized it wasn't gonna be nothing. Master Killer. Yeah. Yeah,
Almost
82,000.
I almost forgot something too.
What you almost forgot?
I forgot that I had the Black Swan under siege.
The Black Swanee. Something wrong with kinetic energy. You can't see them numbers. Kinetic energy is 82,000. I don't know what you're talking about. Dropped to 81,000. What are you talking about? Can't see.
He hasn't been over on the show very long. He doesn't get this.
Been there long enough. He can't see. Got them pseudo blinders on. It's not letting them see his 82,000. I know you see them zeros in there, man. Yeah, the zeros. You need your goggles to see the zeros. You can't see the zeros. You got to have the goggles on. All right. Anti-pseudo goggles on allows you to see the zeros. 82,000.
All right.
It's in the building. Go ahead. What you got there, Brendan?
So we know we've got the nuclear subs surrounding the Black Swan. Right. So again, we're gonna take another weapon out of their hands. We're doing a lot of that tonight, man. We're doing a lot of that tonight. I'm going to share this screen here. And this is an interesting article from Physics World magazine here. All right. And let me know if you guys can see this. Let's share this piece with you. All right. Let me know if this pops up. I think you have to allow it, Unc.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, man, shout out to Brother Jones, man. Appreciate that support, man. Good looking.
All right. So if you notice there's been a few pictures that's sort of floating around this whole idea of it's like based on the curvature of the earth, the calculations, this is what the flat earthers claim, right? In this particular image here, right? This is an image of the Chicago skyline, right? Actually, it says this is a photo taken from Mount Baldy in Indiana Dunes National Park on the southeast coast of Lake Michigan, right? So this is roughly 60 kilometers across the water from the city of Chicago, right? Which lies on the opposite bank, right? It says Chicago's skyline should not be visible as the curvature of the earth takes it beyond the horizon. It says, in fact, it says the fact that the buildings are visible is, in fact, simply a mirage, right? We say that this is a mirage. It
Man.
says mirages are usually created when a cold, dense layer of air sits above a layer of warmer, less dense air. For example, when the sun beats down on a black road on a hot summer day. It says the warm ground heats the bottom few centimeters of air, refracting sunlight up to your eyes to create an inferior mirage. It says, but if the layer of warm air actually sits above the line of sight with the cold air beneath, you get a superior mirage. Right? This idea of a superior mirage is actually more prevalent that you would see than the inferior mirage. It says light bends, right? So it says that the inferior mirage, right, is what we call, it says when the warm ground heats the bottom few centimeters of air, refracting light up towards your eyes, right? So light is refracted up, as opposed to a superior mirage is when the light is refracted downwards.
Okay, we got it.
Right. So essentially, right, for when the light is refracting downwards, you're getting light that is hitting colder pockets of air. Right. So it's actually refracted down towards your eyes. And we talk about this whole idea about, you know, we evolved these intuitive senses, right? And in terms of our eyes, how our eyes work, right? We presume that the light that hits our eye, right, is in direct line of sight of the object. Right? It would make sense that we would think that, you know, because, you know, again, right, our eyes are sort of evolved for us to be able to, you know, hunt things on the savannah and, you know, navigate our natural world. It wouldn't be a sort of a need for us to understand, you know, light, the light is actually bending inside of the atmosphere. So again, this is sort of an intuitive thing inside of nature, you know, in terms of how we would respond to it. But again, nature doesn't have to necessarily be intuitive. And what this shows in terms of this phenomenon is what we call light refraction, right? So I'm going to scroll down a bit, and this shows you an example of this, right? So if you see here, right, the real object at the very bottom there, right? This is the actual light ray, right? The bending of the light ray due to refraction. So as you see here, you got the straight line that's coming in, right? This is warmer air, right? You see the first sort of segment of the light. As soon as it hits that colder air pocket, right, the light refracts and bends downwards, right? So there's a second air pocket, right, that causes another refraction phenomenon, right, for here in this example, and it bends down again, right? And again, when the light hits your eye, you as a human, as a Homo sapien, you assume that what you're seeing, that light actually followed a straight line of sight, right? So if you take a look at the object at the very top, right, it looks as if, right, the object is actually higher than what it really is, because you're assuming that light took a direct line of sight, right, traveled in a direct path towards your eye, when in fact it did not, right? This is the refraction phenomena that you see, right? We talk about refraction being able to show things. Again, it explains why you can see the Chicago skyline when indeed it should be below the horizon due to the curvature of the earth. It also explains why you can see ships, right? Ships at a very far distance that you shouldn't be able to see is due to the light refraction, right? There's also a phenomena they talk about. There's a phenomena where ships seem to be floating in midair due to this refraction effect as well, right? And this whole idea is like, these are really good questions, I think, that the flat earthers propose, right? He says, okay, well, you know, again, the Chicago skyline should be invisible based on its distance, right, and the curvature of the earth. Why can we see it? But there are sound scientific explanations that talk about this phenomenon, that explain the phenomenon outside saying, hey, the globe is flat. We have answers to those questions.
Yeah, get them out. Get the pseudos out of here with that.
Yeah. So boom. So we've sunk the black swan. The black swan is smoking. Don't use that anymore.
The black swan is dead.
It's
I
light
got a
refraction.
question.
It's light
That's
refraction.
the game.
It's an
I got a
optical
question.
illusion. It's a mirage.
Ladosh, you're right. How you doing? Peace, sis. Good to have you coming through, man. Appreciate you, man.
Hey, on that picture of the Chicago skyline
Mm-hmm.
that you know.
I'll pull it up again. Hold on. Let's see.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
'Cause
Mm-hmm.
I wanna make sure that ice wall ain't in the background. I should be able to see that ice wall. If I can see Chicago,
that's a good point.
I should be able to see that ice wall.
In, that ice wall should be right there.
That ice wall should be there, Brendan.
It should be right there. Hey, because the sun's right there. That ice wall should be right there as well.
Ice wall should be there, dog. It should be there, man.
Right?
Definitely the center for the study of pseudoisms. Pseudo Killer on deck. The black swan has just died.
Sunk the black swan.
Something killed the black
flag
swan.
on there.
All right, and bag the black swan, defeathering them, we cooking them.
We don't want to see the black swan. You said black swan one too many times.
Yeah, black swan is the death.
Get it out of here.
Yeah, get it.
Black swan out of here.
Yo, went and killed the black swan. Yo, you could have got the white swan, but not the black swan.
we strangled the black swan. How dare you? Why would you?
I was just sitting here thinking, man, I know a way we can kill them in real time, huh? I mean, in real time, we can kill them.
Already killed them.
I'm just saying, it's just something else we could do that, okay, like find a flagpole in Atlanta and you go to that flagpole at 12 o'clock. I'll go to a flagpole here in Dallas. It'll be 11 for me, for 12 for you.
Caller. Go ahead, Brendan. We got a caller, Mr. Anthony Bowman. To finish your point, we have a caller. We hear the music.
We can look at those shadows.
Yeah, you just left. Yeah, you talked him off, and he left. We had him, and he came. He popped up, and he died, and he left.
Well, he didn't really want to do that, but we can look at them shadows. And both of them flagpoles, and that'll kill it right there. Kill it.
You're the link.
Maybe it's if you're trying to do a salvage expedition on the Black Swan, no chances. It's hopelessly destroyed. Right? There's no salvage expedition to recover the Black Swan.
Mossy Clan says, "How y'all pseudo killers letting the research guy? Who is the research guy?
Who's the research guy?
We got brother Sean in the building. What's going on, brother? What's going on, man?
What up?
How you doing, brother, man?
Hey, I got a quick. What's good? What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
Sean P, what's happening?
We gotta take the thing off for this.
Spears flying. Pseudo
yeah. I got a question though, man. I got a question for y'all.
What you got?
How y'all letting this dude called the research guy survive?
Where is he at?
Bruh, this dude, I done did YK The Truth did 2 shows about the brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then, you know what I mean? He responded to YK earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was critiquing his video about YK, and I was thinking that he was going to bring out some Abo stuff so I can go ahead and do some source criticism and show him some real methodology. Well, he pops up in the chat on the show, and he going crazy. Called us broke bums. Y'all ain't got no money. Yada, yada, yada. All of that. Real pseudo sophisticated. So, okay. All right. So I said, this is a job for the pseudo killers. Look. Can I share my screen?
Yes, you can, brother.
All right. I'm finna show y'all this dude channel.
Return to Sean P. Hey, Sean P. Just for the record, yo, Glad to have you back, bro.
Oh yeah,
Thank you, bro.
Miss
absolutely.
Thank
you,
you.
man.
Gotta
Well, you
be.
know, somebody said you was live. I said, what channel you on? They said you on the Pseudo Killer. I said, no, I don't see him on no damn Pseudo Killer. And you was live.
Yeah. Good to have you back, brother. You know, I don't run. We don't do no running. We face it, man to man. Good to have you back, brother. Absolutely, man.
Hey, look, so this the guy right here, right? Look, his first video is we don't even care. See, he don't even know who he talking to, so he just Bum Village in the Pan African community. So he mad. He mad. But look, this is all his videos right here.
Mhm.
Indian tribes, Native Indian. He aboed all the way out. Now he supposedly put a video up where he said that yeah, look, pyramids found on Mars.
Oh,
yeah, okay. Talk about he found somebody 10th generation grandmama in the genealogy. Come on, bro.
He be hiding his face.
Yeah, so I was like, and he knew on the scene. He knew on the scene, and he did video. And guess what? When you play his videos, guess who he sound like?
Who he sound like?
Dang,
Con Calloway.
Yes, sir. Yeah. He got the music in the background and everything.
Okay.
He don't never show his face.
Following the blueprint.
He showed his face. Look. Okay, you don't believe me? Watch this. And he said the metal. He said the metal net. You got the hieroglyph shit in it.
Oh man.
He on that type.
So fat, Brendan. You're not fat. It's the shirt.
Look
at Nate. His true classic is tight around the chest and shoulder.
Wait till you get
Look
past
at him.
out.
Look, this is intro. I ain't gonna play no music or nothing like that. I don't want no marks.
All right, go ahead.
On the channel.
All right.
So
how
we come on. Look how he come on.
I hope everybody is having a great Saturday so far.
Look, boom.
Turtle.
What you think this means? What you think that means?
That's a turtle. Is that a turtle?
Turtle ship.
Yo, bring us some turtle ship.
Oh my God.
I remember we got the file out on the turtle ship.
Look, bro.
This presentation is brought to you by Turtle Ship.
Look, and
I got the old man. Look, the old maps. Look with the darken out.
Archaic map.
Yeah, I got that book with those maps in it. Ah man, he turtled Island out, yo. Got the arrow going.
Look,
man.
DNA test the results. Old Max. Come on, man.
He been on there for a minute. How long? What's the date on this channel?
Over a year, yo. Last video, you know, he had little video uploads. He only got like 145 videos, but he got 50K subs.
Look at that.
Look, history, entertainment, indigenous history, conservative.
Look at that.
All that.
Look at here. Look at here.
Look, the video, I mean, his channel,
Okay, been there for 2012.
Yeah, he got TikToks, little shorts. Look, people
Is
calling
that
it Indians.
7 million views on this stuff? Wow.
7 million views overall. Yeah. Total views. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Most of his stuff is off shorts because he has some TikTok shorts that he'll show. But all of that is to push the Native American jump, bro. And I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, what he gonna do? I didn't know. Didn't know. He wasn't on the radar.
Yeah, man, I had to introduce y'all to that. My bad, Anthony. I know you were trying to argue with them about something you couldn't explain.
Yeah, we appreciate you bringing that piece of material across the desk, brother. I tell you.
Wow, we got the pen out, pen and paper.
We got him. Got the research guy.
The research guy. Got a slick name. Get him out of here.
He research guy with no research methodology.
Right.
He cooked chicken. We'll put the elbows all in the bag and bake them at the same time. He cooked chicken. We'll get him.
Oh man.
Again, our filing cabinet is getting a bit full. We dealing with the flat earthers, and I guess the elbows are next.
Oh yeah. So what happened with the Sanchez?
I think I got too harsh for him. He called him, said he was ignorant and illiterate.
Put your name all in the title. I was like, hold on, what do?
Oh man. He said he wanted to smoke, but you know, I told Unc, I said, as soon as you get up on their bumper, right, they start singing a
And you know
different
it's real.
tune. You know how it is, Sean.
Yeah, you know
right?
it get
When you
real,
start
Sean.
applying pressure, you
Yeah,
know,
right.
they say they won't smoke, and then you apply pressure, and then they crack under that pressure. So
Pressure bust pipes. That's what I learned growing up. Put that pressure on them, son, and bust pipes. No matter how tough they is, put that pressure and see where they at. You can separate them. Research guy. Let's see if you get caught out there like like your man. You got caught. Hey, Sean, why you on that show when he got caught on the internet? Somebody cut the internet.
Yeah. When they did the whole dang thing, absolutely. Yep.
Oh, dang.
Put a plug on the internet. No. I'm gonna put a plug on the internet. I can't hear nothing. Hello? Can you hear me?
They pulled me up on the thing. They pulled me up on the thing. There's no way. I don't know how I'm on this internet.
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny.
The show or something. I don't know how I got up here. That shit was funny, yo. He hit that link by mistake, trying to sneak in the woods. People.
Yeah, them questions got heated. He couldn't answer. He was that was over on Garfield's show, right?
Sneaking, yo. He was trying to hide and listen in
during the pandemic.
Nah,
was that during the pandemic or before? Okay,
before. In the weeds like this, playing around with this little clicker and clicked that joint and came up on that joint. He was like, "Oh, he here. What's up? What's going on? Huh? Oh my God! Hey, get me off the internet. How I get on here?" That shit was funny. They got the code.
Funny.
Yeah, he out there, the research guy, pyramids, and yeah, we can knock him out the first round, get him out the game. I wonder, yeah, he's creeping for the new elbows. What you been up to though, hey Sean?
Yo,
I got something I'm doing Wednesday.
What you doing?
Should be there. We doing
Wednesday?
some little vaccine thing. I did a show on my man channel. And some of his friends, they were like, "Yeah, I disagree." Okay, well, they disagree. I say, "Good, we can have a conversation." Wednesday, 7 o'clock. If you're free, I know you be working.
Yeah. I'll be working, but the Wednesday, around that time it gets slowed up. So yeah,
pop in.
I do is just send me the stuff and I hop on.
Yeah, pop in on them. It's gonna be a good one. White boy, just for the record.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We
anti-vax guy.
Yeah, anti-vax, anti-whatever I was talking about. He was like, don't agree with him. Okay. Bet. Let's take that up.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, come on, let's have that conversation. So yeah, we're gonna talk about a couple things, man. Yeah, man, where we at? We on the clock, man. We done had a good, where we at? The 2-hour mark there.
Yep, just right there. All right.
We right there, man. It's, we on the show. Hey, Sean, when your next show, man, on the Sounds with Sean, yo?
I probably won't do nothing for about another week or two.
Okay.
Yeah. I was gonna do a show on the the little, the lab stuff, but I just kind of left it alone right now. Because it ain't really nothing to really just get into. It's still the same position we've been on. You know what I mean? So we just looking for the rest of it.
Talking about the piece that the China left out, that they actually found some animals with the coronavirus.
Right. Yeah.
Why would they leave that out though?
It's craziness. Just craziness.
They wanted to act like it didn't even come from China. Was that the game they was playing?
Yeah, they didn't. I think that they were trying to cover. We all know a cover up, but I just think that they were trying to cover up specifics, and that because those what is it? They weren't supposed to be selling animals up out of there no more, or something like that. They got checked on that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were supposed to have stopped selling them damn wild animals, and they didn't. So that was a violation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you could see them trying to cover that up because of a violation of that. They were only supposed to be selling like the regular, fish, lobster, stuff like that. They weren't supposed to be selling no dang on raccoon dogs and all that old crazy stuff.
Sneaking and got caught up. Started the pandemic.
Started the whole pandemic with this shit.
Aboriginal meat. Selling aboriginal meat.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that's funny, yo.
So that transpired, but I mean, we've been saying that though, because we know how pandemics start. We understand viruses.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but
crazy.
and then are you debating somebody that's talking about the out of Africa, or that kind of fell through?
No, I think that's all in the game. Ain't nothing fell through. We on their head. They be running. They sporadical. We need to get them all up in a bunch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we need to do that. Get their best, put together something, get a couple of us, man. Yeah, and finish all of the out of Africa, the flat, all that nonsense, the all that, bro. We need to really just clean them up, clean up the division, yo. Put our heads together on that. Yep. I think so, man. Go ahead and generate a little capital off of it, get everybody together and do it, because they tripping. Yeah, they running wild, right? Yeah, and now they're trying to use signs, which is the worst thing to try to do. The best thing to do is just keep making it up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I was talking to something about the out of yeah, but the Native Americans don't bleed the Blackians, the Fakians. I call them the Blackians. The Fakians, they don't believe in the out of Africa theory because it kill a whole thing. Right?
Right. Exactly. Yep. And they run from that DNA because that DNA in them Indians, you know what I mean? They got that archaic human, they got that archaic up in them with that admixture. So it's a wrap.
They don't want to see that.
Yeah. So now you got to deal with that portion, and they don't want to do with that.
Like the road, it's like almost like the
what up here?
Yeah. It's almost like the
Hey Tiff.
It's like the it's like roach spray to them. DNA is roach spray.
Yeah, because see, when I was talking to Kiowa,
oh man,
he did that old funny game stuff. And I don't appreciate that. Like, you on a channel, bro, and you saying you descend from these people, and then you backtracking and saying that you don't descend from the people, and then you turn around and saying you mistyped and all of this, and there's no integrity in that. And then you ran when we asked you for evidence, and he dragged his own mama into it, bro.
What? Yeah, I saw that. He had his mom in the amen corner on the live.
Yeah,
he basically,
fair, yo.
No, it
appeal,
ain't. And that's
appeal,
what I'm saying.
appeal to mama. Appeal to mama.
Bro. You gonna walk your mama into a whole fire, bro.
Where was y'all at?
We was on Garfield show.
I wish I was there. Hey, moms, we respect the mothers over here.
Right.
But your mother lied to you, mother.
Right. Yeah. I didn't want to, get rid of his mom or nothing like that. I said, but he probably the one who planted that seed. But then she was like, she named him Kiowa, and I was like, no, she named him
Pseudo. His mother.
Yeah. I just kept telling him, though, man, you wrong for bringing your mom in this, bro.
Yeah, you put your pseudo mom on there. Not yes, if your mother pseudo, leave her off the internet, ladies and gentlemen. If your mother pseudo, leave her off the internet. 8 to 80, blind, crippled, to crazy. Your mother, your grandmother, all them fitting that. I got them.
Yeah, you're gonna be real mad. You're gonna be real mad when your mama get beat up.
Put in the middle of the street. Get out the way, Kyle. I got it. Your mother, she told you she raised you. Get out the way. I got her. Now you said, what, ma'am? The out of Africa theory is not what?
She wasn't saying none of that. She kept on saying, show him, Kyle. Show him. I was like, what?
Oh, he pumped his mother up. Yeah. Oh, with the battery.
Show him our book. I'm like, man, that book ain't gonna say you.
What book?
I don't know, bro. But they were owned by a slave master. His name was Swindle, like Samuel Swindle. He was the plantation owner. But I'm like, if y'all Indian, yo, and you free, how is y'all slaves? He said, well, they was naming everybody that at the time. I threw everything up in the air.
Oh man.
Kiowa. Okay.
Kiowa, man.
Yeah, he kept saying his mom. I'm like, God, he said, Mom, you hear this, mama? You hear this? Listen to him, mama. Hear this?
That is so crazy, yo. Your mother got his mother up in the scam with him.
I don't want to run your show over, but D. Irvin said it's pointing more to the lab leak. They haven't tracked the source to any meat from Wuhan. D. Irvin, yes, they have, brother.
They
didn't put out information already talking about it, marking the spots where they found the virus in the markets.
D. Irvin, stop, D. Irvin. D. Irvin, you've been tittering all show there, D. Irvin. DQ, what's up? DQ Hampton.
What up, baby? Y'all doing good?
What's going on, DQ?
Yeah, got that caller.
Got to get some more music from you sometime, brother.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I'm dropping a new song. It should be on our DSPs next week.
Okay.
You been
I was checking you out on SoundCloud. I think it was on SoundCloud. You gave me the link.
Huh?
Ain't this the nephew?
No, DQ ain't my nephew.
Okay.
Yeah, he everybody unk, but he ain't my nephew though. I ain't his nephew.
What's up, nephew? What's going on? You know how we do it for real.
Yeah, to the Nah, I was just in here, seeing y'all was online, so I had to tap in. I've been on all Garfield shows. Sean was been over there whooping ass.
I know you.
Yes.
Dragging them.
Well, just coming from a different perspective, like we all ain't got to fight from that same. We don't have to use that same style to fight the abos, right? So once we get them retreating, we got to hit them from the other angle, and then now we smushing them in. So if you look at science and you use science to help you fight the battle, right? Then it requires evidence, and you see a lot of them shifting toward trying to use science, but if they're going to use genealogy, there's a methodology that is required for that as well. And so in order to actually go down the line, because you could just make up stuff, but people can go behind you and correct that stuff. So when you start talking about who the actual people were, right, then it changes the game. You don't hear them talking about Paleo Indians or anything like that, even though we know the name Indian is a fictitious name that Columbus gave these people, thinking that he was somewhere else. All right, we get that, but that label stuck to these people, and we calling them as to classify and identify them Paleo Indians. So once we understand the last glacier maximum, we understand that the Pacific Ocean was you were able to just take a raft from one little small island to another, till you got to that, till you got to that western shore of the Pacific in the Americas. That changes the game because that puts a whole new lens on it. And then after the glacier maximum, the ocean rises. So it's 400 feet less than what it is today. And then it's where it is today after the glacier maximum. That says a lot about how water works around here. So, we got to look at the whole fight.
Man, listen, man, it's funny to me. They trying hard, man.
They are. They got from the claim, bro.
Yeah, I saw Raw Born was taking them head on for a while, and he was doing a great job. I didn't suspect you, Sean, to hit them in their flank like that, but yeah, I see you working on the abos as well. You cooking them, so yeah.
Yeah, you got to let Rob Bowen hit them with the history, right? Because that's going to take them one place. Then you got to marry the history with the other sciences.
Right.
And when we do that, we got them where we want them.
Multidisciplinary, right?
Right. So now you can't go nowhere because we fighting you on many fronts.
Multiple fronts.
Yep.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, I ain't never. Yeah, that's a rabbit hole with the history and the book. The what's the rolls called, yo? The dog rolls. Man, I ain't doing all that. It's the dog rolls. The what? To say they was Indians, they wasn't. They what? Man, listen. Yeah, that's wrong.
They kick their ass up off them dogs rolls too.
They kicked them up off that. They don't want to talk about the kickoff point though.
Yep. Or the fact that if they want to claim their lineage, they got to do the blood oath stuff. So they gotta have their blood tested.
Oh man.
Right. This conversation reminds me, this is like a meeting amongst sovereign nations discussing war plans. It's like we all got battles on multiple fronts, different topics, different things. So yeah, absolutely. Fighting towards the same goals, right?
Push them to the center. Right. They ain't got nowhere to go.
Get these pseudos up out of here.
Yeah,
that's why science is such a powerful weapon, man. Because you can, when it's like I was saying, I think that was on the Discord call. When you got good science, it can go between different disciplines. You know what I'm saying? Just like Sean was just saying, you know, you hit them with the history, then you come back and you got another science you can hit them with, but it's all coming to the same conclusion. You're not what you say you are. And see, the pseudo can only try to use one science and mess it up. You know what I'm saying? He messed that all up. So when you got good science, yeah, you can hit them from all kind of angles. Just beat the brakes off of them.
Well, they only fight their fight in the 1800s if you pay close attention to them. But the more sophisticates, they try to fight their fight. They're moving off the Columbus thing because the Columbus thing is kind of, putting them in certain areas. So they're trying to fight it differently, but they can't use Columbus. So it's really the 1800s. And it's the fact of when they start identifying as colored, when the natives had no other choice but to identify or classify themselves as either black or colored, because they set the agenda that it was only white and black people, and they wasn't gonna let the Indians claim to be white. So they had to reclassify, and that's where the confusion come in at. But those African Americans who actually contributed to where we are today to give us the ability to do that, called themselves African Americans, called themselves Africans, talked about all of that. Not so much Native American. They didn't do any of that.
Right, they ain't made that up, man. I can't believe them people, man. We see how Sanchez check out. I think he, you know what I'm saying? We got the high altitude bombs. We got the sources. You know how we do it. We there. Man, we got a nice crowd in the building too, man. Appreciate everybody sliding through, man. Yeah, we going live during the week. You ain't we, Brendan?
Yeah, we probably will, right? We can just do some well-laid plans internally and kind of discuss what we want to hit. We hit so many PowerPoints today, right? We took a lot from them, right? We took a lot of ground. We took a lot of ground tonight, right? We took the cosmology of the universe, which sounds nothing like anything that the pseudos talk about, right? We talked about the Big Bang cosmology in depth over the last couple of shows, so they can't use that. We took that away, right? We taking away some of these misconceptions that they use in terms of some of these intuitive descriptions of the natural world that they say lends credence to the flat Earth. We know they don't, right? We have explanations for all of this stuff. Right. And again, right, I appreciate Brother Sean coming on, because actually I had a covert mission regarding the abos that I was working on. So maybe we might need to pull him in on that. I'm thinking about is related to the slave ships in our famous museum here in DC, the African American Museum of History and Culture. Yeah, we got the primaries in there.
Got the primaries.
We got the primaries in there. So I'm thinking about doing another day trip and getting some live video footage for the archives for that.
Yeah, they got the live ship. They got the pieces on loan.
Yeah, we got them. We got the primary evidence right there. Right, and when we do it, don't move.
Don't move.
Right, you always say that. Okay, well, we don't have the slave ship. When we do this, don't move. Stay right where you at.
Don't run.
Right, don't run. Right, so yeah, we gotta turn up the heat on the abos as well. I agree with that. We got to turn up some of the pressure there.
Sanchez said he don't want to talk to Unc, man. He too busy trying to gain interest of the Euro channels, the Euro YouTube space. They like what he brings to the table. They don't, you know what I mean? It makes that other perspective, as he called it. See, he like that other perspective. He hit us with the SETI. It is 2023, bro. He hit us with the SETI. Let me show you my Egyptian screens and show you that this sign is saying this, that, and the third about the cosmology.
He did.
Well, you know, Sean, they all say that, right? Until that aircraft carrier shows up on their shores. When that carrier show up,
aircraft carrier pulled up, yo. With the
we pull right there. You know, they always say, "Oh, we ignore those guys." Okay.
Yeah, no.
Hey man, D. Irvin, stop it. D. Irvin, look, now you chatty patty, man. Yeah, those three scientists that say it was a raccoon dog were the same three that first wrote it came mostly from the lab. Man, check this out, man. Now you too much, man. You about to get put out the chat, D. Irvin, because you chatty and pattying too much. Hit the link, man, and prove your point. Come on, man. You Superman right there, man. Stop that, man. It's over with, man. You know you don't want that. You definitely don't want no vaccine conversation. You ain't got one book on vaccines, yo. I know you don't got a Sean book, and I know you don't got Vincent Vaccanella. Man, come on, yo. You gotta stop it. See, now you playing like we can have fun with the other stuff, yo. With these people life on the line, man. You talking crazy, man. He know he don't got these, Sean.
Nah, he ain't no. Hell no, you know he don't. He don't even know what him is.
Come on, bro. You playing, man. You Googling off the internet. You stop. Come on, man. Come on, man.
We might need to do a deep dive virology conversation, Unc. You know, I think it's been a while. It's been a while since we addressed it. Yeah.
They gave us out. They tried to strike us, Sean.
What happened?
For the vaccine shit, they tried to strike us. They struck us, and I got mad. Yo, I returned fire. Yeah, they was like, nah, you good. I was like, come on, man. You got the Rizza Islam. I start naming people. Yo, how? Yeah. But did they ever strike any of your content on your channel?
Yeah, they just did. They did the Sean, the fake doctor that sat in front of Congress and told them all them stories.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, they struck that video, but I combated it. Was like I sourced everything and I was refuting him, you know, but I think that's auto algorithm stuff that's happening.
What they say though?
Shit, they just struck it just for a week.
They gave it back?
Yeah, I ain't lose it or nothing. They just put me on a strike campaign. If I get another one, then they'll do all that.
No, did you write to them and say, yo, knock it off?
Yeah, I did.
Did they accept it or they didn't?
Nah, I got an auto reply. The auto reply said they felt like, you know what I mean, the information in there was a little contradictory. And it was only because I let do video play.
Man, you gotta come on, yo. Like you gotta, I let it play, but I talked about it, how crazy it was. Y'all act like y'all ain't see that part?
Yeah.
So I went hard. I wrote a thorough paragraph of just let them have it. Start naming all the anti-vaxxers. I was like, come on, man. How? Yeah, they did us like that on the presentations we did in Atlanta. Yo, they just struck them to death. Yep, that's crazy, man. But look, man, we about to get up out of here, man. We ain't going too far, right? Support all the channels, man. Where they can find you at, Sean?
Shit, I'm in the streets. Signs with Sean, Kofi Pie side. I'll be on the Mossy. You know what I mean? So it is, you know, I'll be on Garfield's. I'll be over here. You know how I go.
Yeah, you're in them streets, yo. You definitely in the streets, man. Appreciate that, man.
It's Sutek thought about that the research guy, man. He the one brought that stuff to me. Him and YK the Truth, yo.
Shout out to YK the Truth, man. I ain't heard from him in a while, man. What's his Facebook page? Did he change it? He still got the same one.
It's still the Kemet page.
Kemet page, man. Send that to me, Sean, so I can hit him up.
All right.
He didn't even deep into my daggone Facebook. Gone. You know how that go.
Yeah, I think I remember YK the Truth. He had some choice words regarding reparations that rubbed me the wrong way. But yeah, we'll put him down at in the filing cabinet as well.
He's the good guy. He's the good guy. The friendly fire. What did he say about reparations, though? What did he say about reparations?
Foolery. This is way back. This is probably at the very beginning of the pandemic or before that. This has been a while.
Oh, he might change his mind. YK don't mean no harm.
If I got the guy right, I think it's
wrong.
him. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was him.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold y'all though, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll catch y'all on the next live, man. See what y'all
Yeah,
got.
catch us on the next live, man.
All right.
All right.
Peace,
Y'all hold
peace.
it down, man.
Yeah, man, you know what it is.
Hey, peace to the Mossy.
Gonna hit y'all with some JC Porter, man.
Gotta let me know what's up, what's the situation? Got me thinking that I know you, then you switch your faces. First you love me, then it's fuck me with a conversation. And she like, I never meant to do that, I never meant to. Let me know what's up, what's the situation? She like, I love you, but I know we in two different places. Okay, I thought you were the one, but then you treat me basic. And I'm like, I never meant to do that, I never meant to. Whoa, whoa, whoa. She like, I never meant to do that, I never meant to. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And I'm like, I never meant to do that, I never meant to. We've been back and forth for 60 hours, though we need a rest. You been getting fouled real wild, girl, we need a rep. Just to keep the peace or mediate or even throw a text. It feel like we sinking, babe, we drowning, gotta catch my breath. I'll call you on the phone, you start talking real crazy, then you hang up in my face. Got me feeling some way, I don't know what to do, so I match your energy. Then I go to text you and find out you block me. Like, let me know what's up, what's the situation? What's up? She like, I know that you don't hear me from your face expression, but I never meant to do that, I never meant to. Gotta let me know what's up, what's the situation? Got me thinking that I know you, then you switch your faces. First you love me, then it's fuck me with a conversation. And she like, I never meant to do that, I never meant to. Let me know what's up, what's the situation? She like, I love you, but I know we in two different places. Okay, I thought you were the one, but then you treat me basic. And I'm like, I never meant to do that, I never meant to. Whoa, whoa, whoa. She like, I never meant to do that, I never meant to. Whoa, whoa, whoa. She like, I never meant to do that, I never meant to. Drama, yeah. Thought you already knew that, ay. Why you gotta do that, ay? Don't switch it up, thought you understood that, ay. Coming from the bottom, very bottom, yeah, yeah. Fam, I thought you knew that, ay. Fam, I'm on the come up, yeah. No need to fake it, Charlie never loved us, no. Say, why you gotta do that? Say you ain't gotta do that, no. Babe, why you gotta do that? No, you ain't gotta do that, no. You be tweaking, you be geeking, I ain't built like that, shorty. If you hang up in my face, why I'ma dial you back? Had to run the shit a double time like a running back, ayy, ayy. Tryna put things in my life in another sequence. I've been dealing with a lot and it's too tough to mention, but I feel a little better with the Smith & Wesson. It's a long, dark road if you don't have a weapon. Watching everywhere I step, facilitate these blessings. Gotta keep my eyes peeled for the misdirection. In the form of a favor or a loved one. I know you got trauma in your past that you can't run from, and it shows in every single action that you make, love. That ain't what up, love, nah. You be tweaking, you be geeking, I ain't built like that, shorty. If you hang up in my face, why I'ma dial you back, no. I don't like the drama, yeah. Thought you already knew that, ay. Why you gotta do that, ay. Don't switch it up, thought you understood that,
Coming from the bottom, very bottom, yeah, yeah. Fam, I thought you knew that, ayy. Fam, I'm on the come up, yeah. No need to fake it, Charlie never loved us, no. Say, why you gotta do that? Say, you ain't gotta do that, no. Say, why you gotta do that? No, you ain't gotta do that, no. Baby, these eyes don't lie when you look into them. Why you say we into it when you know we good? I'm on a jet ski, I'm on a wave, come and catch me. Tag please, wish a bitch nigga test me. Baby, these eyes don't lie when you look into them. Why you say we into it when you know we good? I'm on a jet ski, I'm on a wave, come and catch me. Tag please, wish a bitch nigga test me. It was all good until they stole my wave. Hey. Why you wanna threaten to leave but wanna stay? Hey. LV in the wardrobe, baby, I feel like a checkerboard. Trophies on the mantle, baby, spinning on they block the sport. What do you see when you look through these Cardi frames? What do you see? Nigga, my name ring bells, have you lost your brain? Hey. Shit feel better than the fucking freedom bills. Freedom bills, but the bars, we got it for sale. I had to pipe shit up, this bitch was going, bitch was going. I had to put on the alarm, cause this niggas back door. I had to pipe shit up, cause this bitch was going, bitches was going. I keep it epic with the green tips, but it ain't true to say, hey, hey. Baby, these eyes don't lie when you look into them. Why you say we into it when you know we good? I'm on a jet ski, I'm on a wave, come and catch me. Tag please, wish a bitch nigga test me. Baby, these eyes don't lie when you look into them. Why you say we into it when you know we good? I'm on a jet ski, I'm on a wave, come and catch me. Tag please, wish a bitch nigga test me. Hey, fuck shit up, but I'm already knowing. I had to put on the alarm cause these niggas back door. They want me fuck shit up, but I'm already knowing. I had to put on the alarm cause these niggas back door.
Supposed to go for real, like I'm just. Hold on. Girl, I'm dialing you. Ever since I met you, I've been all over you. Burberry, London is the smell on you. Gotta keep it player, I can't get too comfortable. Hey, 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 girl, you know I'm jumping off the ropes. I ain't come to play. Been that nigga since forever, baby. It ain't much to say. Getting to the skrilla every time of day. Met a bad one on the way, like Kim K. Hey. Met a bad one on the way like Kim K, like Kim K. Met a bad one on the way like Kim K. Hey, met a bad one on the way like Kim K, like Kim K. Met a bad one on the way. Suit and tie, shorty, tell me what the business is. Got me feeling like this some official shit. Wear your fucking jersey and your whistle, bitch. I'm just tryna take it to the post like an N1. I'm just tryna work it like some errands. Slid into your middle like a fraction. Skeletons you bring up out the closet, said it's random. Yeah. Hey. Shorty, you ain't even gotta do that. Thinking in your head that I'm big cap, no cap. Baby, I'm official as a visa stamp. Baby, I'm official as a cookie stamp. Baby, I got the piece with the cookie stamp. People's child, hey. Nigga really think I found a bad bitch. Nigga know I really was bad. Nigga, I really think I found a bad bitch. Hey, girl, you know I'm jumping off the ropes. I ain't come to play. Been that nigga since forever, baby. It ain't much to say. Getting to the Skrilla every time of day. Met a bad one on the way, like Kim K. Hey, met a bad one on the way, like Kim K. Like Kim K. Met a bad one on the way, like Kim K. Hey, met a bad one on the way, like Kim K. Like Kim K. Met a bad one on the way. I met a bad one. I just met a bad one. I just met a bad one. I just met a bad one on the way. Hey, I just met a bad one. I just met a bad one. I just met a bad one. Met a bad one on the way. Like Kim K. Nigga call it Kimmy Cakes.